if you go on the way you started.
Welcome to Darachat. My name is Daramouthe, or Dara for short, because some people have issues saying Daramouthe, and they say Daramouthe, and I laugh at them because I have grown past first grade, and they seemingly have not. So there's that. But anyway, welcome to another Darachat. I am with the just one of Canada's lovable people, Shawn of third. You're still muted. You're muted. You gotta unmute yourself. You're muted.
Hello, everyone. I'm Shawn of Third Railify, and lovable apparently is the word. Forgetful is another one, and
lovably forgetful. Do you know
lovably forgetful and ridiculous. But actually what this is.
Yeah.
Is my strategy to make you all fall in love with me and subscribe to my channel at the Railify on YouTube.
Oh, there we go. Now we're gonna get the ad read.
It's what it is. It's prostitution, and I'm for it.
Excuse me.
So yes, do that, and you'll have just endless hours of me screwing up.
Oh, that's all right. It's okay to screw up, but it happens. It's like one of those things where your camera's not on, you're trying to figure it out. It's like being the old person in the room, and technology's like, "What's this button again? What does it do? What does it do?" And people are just like,
my loving wife just snuck me some Easter trail mix. I'm very excited.
Ooh, what is it? What's in the trail mix though?
I think we got some colored marshmallows, some Chex, some little bunnies, some popcorn, and some chocolate eggs.
Ooh. See, now I like the chocolate, like the solid chocolate eggs that have the coloring outside. So like they're little hard candies, but they just solid chocolate in the center of them. I don't know what they call them.
Yes, they're just little, like, I don't know, like little eggs, and that is. That's what this is. I'm so excited.
See, there you go. See, those are
Oh,
the
that
best.
is nice. That's
Yeah,
nice. Yeah.
yeah. That's and the marshmallows too. You said your name too fast.
I sometimes do that. Hello, I'm Shawn of Third Railify, and
Mhm,
at Third Railify
mhm,
on Rumble, YouTube,
mhm,
and X.
mhm.
There you go.
See, not so fast anymore.
Yeah.
He said it's slow enough. Funny enough that that you're just called like channel's called Third Railify, and there's no train. I'm sorry, that's just a
Well,
disappointment in itself.
well, I do have a train sort of motif that I gently kind of like. You've been on my channel, and
Right.
the background of it
Uh.
is like Tokyo,
Mhm.
and like sort of like it's
Uh, That's
pixelated, and then every like 30 seconds a train goes by, right?
uh.
And my
Oh.
my logo is a bomb on
Mhm.
train track. So the train sort of motif is kind of always sort of been through there, but people go like third rail fly. Well, what the heck is that? It's like, well, you understand the third rail
Mhm.
powers the subway train, right?
I've never
It's
been
it,
on the
it's a
subway.
it's electric. You touch it, you die.
Yeah, well, obviously, yes. If you
Right,
touch it, you die. Yeah.
but there's also a
Uh-huh.
third rail issue,
Uh-huh.
which relates to that rail that powers the subway, right? A
Yeah.
third rail issue might be abortion,
Uh.
might be whatever. The thing
Mhm.
is, it's a topic that if you touch,
Mhm.
you die. Your maybe your political career is over. Maybe you get canceled. Maybe whatever,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so naming things is hard.
Mhm.
It right? Ask my children. They'll tell you. Yeah, naming things is hard. Obviously, um,
Yeah.
whenever I say that, I think of my son Rory.
Mhm.
We've named him the most complicated way to spell Rory possible.
Mhm.
And, it's I feel bad for him.
Well, at least you didn't call your child Absiday, because that's like A,
A, B,
B,
C,
C,
D,
D,
E?
E. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like lazy to the laziest point you could get. It's like the first 5,
People
6, 6 letters of the alphabet, and at that point, you're just like, I think you might need to take that one back before you sign it.
yeah.
Uh,
So,
those
uh
are all Rumble rants on the wall. So when
yes.
someone donates a Rumble rant,
So,
I put it on the wall.
donate, even if it's a buck, 2 bucks,
Mhm,
get your name on the wall. And
mhm.
then that means you're like, you're part of the legend that is Dara. Be a
Yes.
part of the legend.
So
Send money.
legendary, so wonderful. Yeah. Yeah, but that's what they are. I kinda stole the idea. Well, I wouldn't say I stole it. Yeah, it's probably inspired by someone else, but I kinda took the idea from someone else, and also because someone said my wall was kind of gray. So I was like, well, all
Yes.
right,
Yes.
just kind of take something that kills two birds with one stone, So that's what I did.
I think
Uh,
that's a brilliant idea. So if I can for a minute,
yes.
just finishing off the origin of my name. N- I think it was Steven Crowder said something about third rail issues and
Mm,
or issues that could then be into third rail issues. And I really thought about that. I'm like, oh, that issue, like issues
mm,
that shouldn't be controversial
mm,
suddenly become super controversial. It's like
mm,
they get third railified.
mm.
And then I'm like, oh
Shocking.
my God, I did it. I named something. And then that's what it is. So I talk about a lot of things that are third rail issues or
Uh,
issues that could very easily become third rail issues.
mm,
I do like, for example, teachers diddling their students. I talk about that a lot. People don't like to talk about it, but it needs to be talked about. And so I
mm.
don't exactly shy away from
Yeah,
that stuff. And
yeah,
if YouTube wants to cancel me, then just let them, okay?
yeah.
Let them. Come at me, YouTube. You've already done it before.
Right, and that's the sort of the thing too. Is like there was a stream I did. It was part of my pay it forward stream, and I had to guess after it. And there was some part of it where they got me for like violence. Now the I was going over someone else's stream on Rumble because that's what I do my pay it forward stream on. But the thing was is like the timestamp they gave me was like people were running away from something I couldn't really see, and there wasn't really any blood or anything, or nobody was, beaten up or whatever. So it was like, okay, that doesn't make sense. I don't see any violence. Um, but the point of the matter was is that, that was their thing. So I appealed it and I said, hey, look, it doesn't look like it, but there's this like a few minutes after, like at the 49-minute mark, there's this thing where a cop kind of takes somebody down, and just kind of cuffs them and stuff. I don't know if that's what you're talking about now. You're just trying to be nice in that regard. And then all of a sudden, that appeal goes in. It's not a few hours later. They're like, nope, it still stands. And and the funny thing is that the original time they gave me is not the one they reiterated. the time the time they gave me after I gave that appeal, guess what it was?
I don't know what.
4858.
Oh wow, I would never have guessed that. Never would have guessed that. But yeah, so I did. Do you remember about a year ago
Mm,
when I think that was probably in around when Ghislaine Maxwell was on trial
mm,
for doing crimes to nobody.
right.
Um, and in around that time, there was like Epstein files were being released. I mean,
Mm,
it amounted to ultimately nothing, right? Nothing really
right.
got released. Nothing was really scandalous. Nothing really juicy. It was
Mm,
just something to talk about, and
mm,
you know, um, kind of a nothing burger. Well,
mm,
I did a video about that.
mm.
Um, maybe it was more than a year ago now, year and a half ago. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But point is, um, I did I did a video that was kind of boring. I mean, I usually like to make my videos funny. Maybe I'm in a hot dog costume, which often you'll find me, chat. You'll find me in a hot dog costume, or just recently I did a video about it was a teacher who got a bunch of her young students to gangbang her. But
Mm,
the thing was they had to wear scream masks, you know.
ah,
And so I did the whole costume, or sorry, I did the whole video rather in the scream costume.
uh-huh.
And it was hilarious and incredibly hard to do, but I did it for you, chat. Um, and so I try to be as entertaining as possible, especially
Right.
when you're dealing with like rough issues, right? So
Mhm,
entertaining as possible. But this particular video I did on Epstein,
mhm,
um, I didn't really have the heart to do it entertaining. So I did kind of milk toast, kind of boring, kind of Tim Pool with hair. You know
right.
what I mean?
Hmm,
And so, you know, it wasn't over the top in any real manner, but then YouTube came back and they're like, "That's it. That's it, buddy. You've crossed the line." I'm like, "Well, what have I done?" And they're like, "You, sir, cyberbullied and harassed Jeffrey Epstein." I'm like, "What do you mean? That's not there is no law anywhere in any nation on this earth where you
uh,
can cyberbully and or harass somebody who is long since dead. You're literally making shit up." And they're like,
uh,
"So what are you gonna do about it?" I'm like, "Well, I guess pedophiles protect their own, don't they?" And they're
mm,
like, "You'll never get monetized again." I'm like, "Well, I'll try in 6 months."
mm,
And then 6 months later, they go, we've reviewed it,
mhm,
and we've determined that it's not cyberbullying and harassment; it's hate content."
mm.
Like, but what about the thing that you've demonetized me for 6 months for? Now it's a different thing. Was it even that thing in the first place?
Right.
And they're like, we're actually not going to tell you. So I'm in YouTube's black book. They can eat a bag of dicks. Fuck them.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's it's always been a funny thing to me because I was talking about this with Brandon yesterday. It's like I don't get it anymore where creators are on just one platform anymore. I don't get it because I get the majority of them will be on YouTube because all the money and uh once Rumble and put the exact same comment it went through. Yeah, I think the problem I have is that a lot of content creators will still stay with YouTube in the manner because it has the money and stuff. But I'm like, you do realize you are in a technological age where being on one platform, unless you can't do it technologically, like your computer is not up to par, or you streaming from a laptop or whatever, right? There are certain restrictions. Those are special exceptions, right? But if you have the technical capability and you're streaming to just one platform, and something happens to your channel, I don't feel sorry for you.
Well, feel
It,
sorry for me.
well, I'm not speaking to you directly. I'm speaking to those who stream to just one platform. And this is not just to YouTube as well; it's to Twitch as well, right? We've already seen with all the Twitch stuff and whatnot. But I mean, my thing is that I wouldn't stream to just one platform at all. I don't care what platform it is. I don't care what they're selling. At the end
Yeah.
of the day, streaming or putting all your content on just one platform is a death sentence to your content because if something happens, if some bug pops up and your stuff is gone, what what do? Right?
I don't know. Start again.
We'll start again somewhere. You'd hope you at least save some of it, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
digress.
See, so the thing is, like, I cover news stories. I
Mm,
mean, each video I put out when I do standalone videos. I
mm.
mean, what's the shelf life of a news story? Like a couple days, and then
Not
you're
even
on to the
that.
next one. So if all my content gets nuked, I mean,
Mm,
well, okay, just start again. Like I am the personality. I am the content, right? Like if all of your videos got nuked,
mm.
you would be probably in a position where, you start again because you are the content. Much like Alex Jones, right? If all of his shit gets nuked, doesn't matter. Alex Jones is still Alex Jones. So I mean, that's how I feel about it. But just the audacity of them to do that is you know,
I
dick
I think
move.
it's surprising to find other people surprising of that because they've already shown that many times before with other content creators, especially when they have to go to Twitter X to get their issues resolved. Oh, I've been demonetized. Oh, I've been banned for no apparent reason. Wow. Tell me another story about how YouTube hasn't screwed their creators over, but they don't care very much anyway because guess what? They're the king of platforms at this point in time. There's basically there's no one out there right now that's able to be on the same competitive field. Maybe you get some up and comers, sure, but there's no one really on the same field that can compete with them. I mean, you could say Twitch, but Twitch is not edited video content included with it. It's mostly just streaming and I think clips. I think they do clips on Twitch too, but they don't do edited video content right now. As it sits, YouTube is still king of platforms, and for the foreseeable future, they will remain so until
But what props up YouTube though?
Google, because that's what it is. It's Google.
Yes, what props up specifically? It's the Google AdSense.
It's money and reach. Those are the two things I've heard many times from many content creators. It's money and reach. Those are the two things that majority of those content creators, especially they're coming from YouTube to try Rumble, they say, "Well, I'm not getting the same amount of money or the same amount of reach that I get on YouTube," and so that will be their point of reference. So it's money and reach basically, and the ease of use, and then you have the twiddling down to all these different things that come with it. But basically, it's still king of platforms because of those things that make it more, and they've had more time. I mean, basically YouTube's been out since 2005, and there really wasn't anything at the time that was like that at
Hmm.
that point. Well, maybe you could say, oh, maybe there's Vimeo or Dailymotion, but they weren't on the same par. But YouTube is still king of platforms because of those things that many people come from and say, oh, well, this thing doesn't have that, so why would I leave?
Um, did you hear that Google lost its ad tech monopoly case? That the government proved that Google willfully engaged in a series of anti-competitive acts.
Mm,
So the whole Google AdSense, like this is going to turn um, YouTube on its head and boost Rumble and all the other um, competitors for YouTube.
mm. Well, possibly, but I'm waiting to see what comes next because it's not going to happen right away. I'm sorry to say this will probably take years before you ever see anything from it. Uh, but
Yes, that's probably true because there will be appeals and
yep,
things like
yep,
that, and
yep,
and they could. I mean, while technically because they lost, they should probably start making changes right away. But they'll say, well, since we have to do the appeal, we need to put in like an injunction and
yep,
blah blah blah. So
yep.
yes, that's probably how that's going to go down.
Hmm.
But this is just basically in the figurative sense, this is showing that a god can bleed. Like the Google AdSense is where all the money is made. That's the thing that's keeping YouTube able to push out their their
Creators,
their
basically.
creator their business plan that makes no sense. It's an
Mhm.
unsustainable business plan.
Well, yeah, video hosting is in a way it's sort of like animation. It is kind of unsustainable because the cost associated with it.
Yeah.
The people you have to hire, the bandwidth you have to pay for, the storage you have to pay for, all the stuff that comes with it. It's not sustainable in its own right. Even if they tried to, I mean, I'm pretty sure right now they're paying billions just for being global as they are, and that's not something to snuff at either. Because again, It's Google basically. And so Google is worldwide. The first search engine is Google, and the second search engine is YouTube. So if you own the top two spaces, I mean,
Uh,
they'll still have the search engine at least.
I use Google less and less and less and less
Mhm,
and less. I find myself using X and or Grok
mhm,
as a search engine more and more and more. And
mhm.
I use Brave browser, right? So like my reliance on Google itself is shrinking, and I'm so happy about that.
Yeah,
Because I cannot tell you how many times where maybe I have forgotten to use um something different and I've gone to Google,
yeah.
and it's for something that's happening, and
Mhm,
then Google, the almighty powerful Google says, "Actually, search results are changing rapidly. We're not gonna give you nothing.
mhm,
No new stories of any kind until
mhm,
we can properly curate the
mhm.
message that we want you to know." And you're like, "But I wanna know the information right now." And they're like, "No, because it makes our side, our team, look bad."
Well, they can do that without saying anything, though. I mean, they've already done that without saying anything.
I know, but
S
now they fucking just legit say it, and you're like, "You sons of bitches,"
Yeah, well, and the thing is, they're big enough to say it and get away with it,
which
to
is
a
true.
degree. I
Which is
mean,
true.
we can talk all day long about the case today, but that's minuscule into the empire that is Google, right? It owns the first two parts for the search. I mean, you don't get that by playing fair, which doesn't exist anyway. There's no such thing as fair. But at the end of it all, I mean, people having other options can draw just snippets of pieces of that away from Google, and we'll see how long that goes. But for right now, Google is still high up there, and
Could you
uh,
imagine a Rumble search engine?
I can't imagine a Rumble search engine because there are a lot of other things that need to be worked on rather than having a search engine. Now,
A
if they
Rumble
worked
s
with
a
something,
Rumble search engine would be amazing, and they could be a mini me for of Google, right? Maybe
mm,
get like the Rumble advertising center, kinda like the Google AdSense, and then,
rack.
yeah, siphon some of that ad stuff from the Rumble search engine into Rumble, and
Mm,
kinda, I think that would just be awesome, because it would also be like free speech search, right? There would be none of this, "Actually, we're curating the search results because we don't want you to know that it was a leftist that did the shooting," you know? So, there wouldn't be any of that. You
right,
would type in your thing, and it would just be the information for better or for worse, and I think
right.
that's what the world needs. We can't just rely on X to give us the information, better or for worse. There's gotta be other things.
Well, you did just say it yourself. You also said Brave as well. There
Brave, you know what? Brave is better, but it's still compromised, and I know that it is. It's compromised the way DuckDuckGo got compromised.
and well, you kind of have to what more than beyond that,
Well, it compromised in the where if you give a mouse a cookie, he's gonna want a glass of milk. If you give him a glass
right?
of milk, he's gonna want a straw. And so,
Right.
but once you start, manipulating some things, once you start
Uh-huh.
pushing some things farther back, well, just this one time, just this one time, we'll move
Uh-huh.
this one thing up, just this one time. You start to, you bend till you break, and they're starting to do that as well, especially with their AI.
Mhm.
The Brave AI is kind of
Leo.
is yeah, it's a little, you know,
So
sucks.
it's an extra tidbit, but I mean that's nothing. But when you're talking about Brave Search, you'd have to give more of an example of okay, so what you've been seeing that has led you to this thought.
Um, oh, I can't give you the specifics right now. I can't, not off the top of my ADHD brain. Are you kidding me?
Well, yeah, but it's also it can't even yeah. Well, yeah,
I mean, I use it a lot, man. I use it a lot, so
yeah,
I can I just
yeah.
there is definitely a sense of that happening, and I'm like, ugh, okay. Well, I mean, it's still better than Google, but we're obviously going down the slippery slope.
Well, I I can't say yes or no to that either because again, if I haven't seen that myself and I can't
Look
put myself in that pedal.
look up more third rail issues.
You mean looking up you? So you're saying that you're the one that's getting not seen.
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Oh.
No, but like I mean, listen, I look up a lot of dumb stuff. Okay, I have to do it. It's a part of the job. Also, you know
Oh,
what? It's nice to see neurodivergent one in your chat
uh,
as your mod because they're also my mod too.
yeah, yeah. He's also Viva Phrase mod too.
I
So
know.
there
I
you go.
saw that. I saw
Hmm.
that, and I love Viva, him being my countryman and all that. And one of these days, he and I are gonna be best
Was
friends. He just doesn't know it.
what was your
Yeah,
countryman?
he managed to get out, but you know,
Yeah, he said no to Canada after a certain point.
I know. Listen, if I could afford getting out, I so would.
That is true. I do know one or two people who are Canadian that are trying to get out, but unfortunately, money is everything, and unfortunately, Canada likes to crack down hard on its people for certain things. But one hand washes the other, and even if Trudeau goes away, someone will take his place.
Yes,
And
that happened. Trudeau went away, and Mark Carney took his place.
I thought there was still the election stuff.
Well, yes, there's an election happening right now, but
Mm.
Mark Carney is the prime minister. So,
In standing until he gets voted in.
well, I guess technically in standing, but is the prime minister. Like, I mean, he's not an interim. He is the prime minister.
Oh,
He's
okay.
the
Well, I,
leader of that party.
well,
So,
I don't know how Parliament works because I'm in
well,
America.
it's stupid. It's stupid. Parliament is stupid.
People was just covering the debate. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, for the Canada thing, yeah. Yeah. I don't think he. I don't know why he wouldn't, because he still does have that, but he's
Yeah.
not.
I wish I could get Viva on my show. That would just be the best thing ever. Oh my god. The rants we would have about Canada.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I've talked to a few other Canadian people. You just have to. Actually, sometimes I don't even know until I talk to them. So there's that too. But because I talked to you on your show and found out that way, it's like, oh, another crazy Canute come at it
That's
again.
that's right. That's right.
Here they come again. Oh goodness. Oh, those crazy Americans, they just do all the stupidest things. We're over here with all our good things.
Well, and that's and maybe that was
uh,
true back in I don't know like 80s or 90s. Where Canadians could properly look down our smug noses at Americans, being like those those Americans and they have to pay for their health care, such swine, and that
mm,
kind of stuff. Those peasants. Well, let me tell you about a little thing I like to call. Didn't that fucking backfire? Because
yeah.
everything that was ever great about Canada is gone.
Mm,
And any Canadians that have any sense at all look at America and go, one day I'll live there. One day.
right.
So it's funny how that's kind of happened as the tyranny has crept in.
Right.
Yeah.
Hold my hold my beer.
Yeah. So it's
Hold his beer. I don't think I want to hold your beer. I don't know what's gonna happen after.
yeah, so it's definitely better in America. That's definitely for sure.
Yeah, I was actually what was it? I actually talked to someone who's lives in Alberta, because he's Scottish, but he lives in Alberta, and he was talking about how they may be the first ones to join up with the United States because of the whole 51st state stuff talk that was
They
about.
won't join. No one's joining America. I mean, okay, first.
Right.
Canada cannot be the 51st state. That's
Uh-huh.
stupid. I want all Americans to stop with that.
Uh-huh.
Canada as a nation is larger than
Uh-huh.
America as a nation.
Uh-huh.
You cannot have a single state that's bigger than your entire country. That's stupid. Canada
Uh-huh.
would have to be the 51st to 63rd
Uh-huh.
state. That's number one.
Uh-huh.
Number two, nobody's joining it anywhere. It's just not going to happen.
Oh yeah.
We're too incompatible. You don't want 13 additional states
Uh-huh.
that are leftist. You don't want that. That's going to throw off your fucking Congress. It's going to throw off your Senate. It's going to throw off everything.
Right.
And then you know what's going to happen? You'll never have a Republican president or a Republican House or a Republican Senate ever again.
Uh-huh.
So fucking smarten up. Like, obviously, you're not going to want to do that. Like, talk about letting 40 whatever million fucking foxes into the hen house. You're not going to do it. But also, number 3, if you're going to do it, just do it. Like, invade us already. Do I want to have extra rights like the First Amendment and a Second Amendment? Yes, I do. I'd like those very much. So don't let your dreams be dreams. Just fucking do it. Invade. We don't have weapons. The last of our firearms were taken away and sent to Ukraine so they can have them.
Right.
So we don't even have fucking, our military has only 3 days of ammunition. So if you want to conquer us, just come with 4 days of ammunition.
Right. Well, and the majority of you live on the borderline between the Canada and U.S. So
because everyone's like, whoa, what a big, vast country. Well, yeah, sure, we're big, but most of this fucking country isn't habitable.
Those
You can't
Inuits
build on it. Well, yeah, they're up way north where you can actually build. It's cold as shit and there's polar bears, so it's not a brilliant idea. But all that space in between is you can't build on it. It's the rock is what we call it. The Great Canadian Shield. You can't build on it. It's fucking awful. That's why we build where we did. And so yeah, do we have minerals and stuff? Probably, but it's not brilliant here. It's not.
Well, hey, you know what? We humans have gone through the tough times and have made ingenuity and stuff. So who knows? You may say it's difficult to, but I'm pretty sure someone will drill a hole in a mountain and live in there somewhere. I don't know. There's certainly some Airbnbs out there that are in caves.
Probably. I wouldn't doubt that.
Oh goodness, it's funny how the whole Airbnb thing works. It's just nothing more than renting a room for a while, because to be honest, hotels are expensive, don't get me wrong, but everything.
I wouldn't stay in an Airbnb. Are you kidding me? The fact that my dick would be on somebody's fucking camera, I'm just not interested in that. You see all the time where it's like, oh, these people discovered 78 cameras in their Airbnb. I'm like no one, virtually nobody wants to see my naked ass. So that would just be terrible.
Yeah.
For everyone involved, and I couldn't. So I'd be like, no, I'll stay at a whatever hotel where I know, people aren't sticking cameras in places.
Yeah, there's one in the toilet, one in the toilet bowl, one in the mirror.
Exactly.
One in the shower, listening to you sing a song horribly.
That's where I put on some of my best performances. That's right. When you do Mariah Carey, it's got to be in the shower.
Oh, good Lord! Gonna do a little. All I want for Christmas is you.
What are you, in my head or something? That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Well, that's probably the most song she's well known for.
Bro, her doing that song basically set her up for life forever, and probably her children forever. Because it's like 2 or 3, maybe a month worth of plays, but it's played everywhere all the time.
Yep.
And then it's just, if you watch, it's like a massive spike up and then down, and then 12 months later up and then down. But there's so much playtime in that short amount of time. The royalties, it's insane.
Yep. Well,
brilliant idea. So if you're a musician, come out with one. If you're gonna come out with one fucking banger, make it a Christmas one. You'll be set forever.
Well, that's true too, but then it goes in the public domain, and then it's not forever. So there's that.
Is that 100 years?
As far as I looked up, it was like 95-ish years, U.S. copyright, but it changes depending on country. Like, I looked up the Tolkien one for like his books, and in countries where it's only 50 years, I think it's like those countries will be like in 2043. That they'll be in public domain, and those that are like the U.S., they'll be in it until like 2048, I believe. So his will be in a so much better shot. Well, if you want to sing yourself to that, I'll let you at Masculine Cargo. But Masculine Cargo is from Canada too. So there you go. Canada.
Oh my god. So since we were just talking about public domain, all right, I just thought about. Right, so if all I want for Christmas from Mariah Carey is but one day going to be public domain and anyone can just willy-nilly play it and it doesn't matter, I was like, what about something awesome? or potentially awesome, like James Bond. When is that? Imagine James Bond in the public domain.
Mhm.
Right? Oh my god, okay. So James Bond, created by Ian Fleming, enters the public domain based on copyright laws, which vary by country, right?
Yep.
Fleming died in 1964,
Yep.
and in most countries, copyright lasts for the author's life plus a set number of years.
Uh-huh.
So, for example, UK copyright expires 70 years after the author's death. For Fleming, this means 2034.
Mhm. But that's not the song though, that's his books. The song is different. That's the movies.
No, the James Bond character. You can't use James Bond character and stuff until
But the
in Eng-
music is different from the again, the music is by the studios, which is gonna be a lot longer than the
Oh, sure,
book.
not in music. I'm talking about,
Mhm.
like, the character. Like, you
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
you can't write necessarily a novel about James Bond
Mhm. Yeah.
and
But
make
once
money
he's
off of it.
yeah.
But in 2034, you can.
Mhm. That's
I
that's
mean,
the hope everyone has. That's a
yeah,
while though.
you still I mean, I never really thought about, like, modern things like James Bond
Mhm.
or I don't know.
Actual Mickey Mouse. That thing won't be in copyright for public domain for ages. They'll hold on to that for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. But yeah, no, that'll be interesting. But yeah, even that's not far away. Yeah, 9 years, of course. It's only like 9 years away, but still, I can't imagine that now until the 9 years that MGM or whoever owns the rights to it right now won't try to get it extended or whatever, because that's what they usually try to hold on to the money maker of sorts. But then again, well, what does it matter too much when they're trying to ruin James Bond now anyway?
Oh,
So
yeah. Oh, yeah. Amazon bought it or bought half of it or whatever. So it's, the controlling half of it. So they're probably gonna put a chick in it and make her lame and gay.
what? Oh, I thought you said chicken. I was like, well, that'd be a new thing. James
They're
Bond
gonna
the
put
chicken.
they're gonna put a chicken in it, a lame and gay chicken.
His name is Cluck, James Cluck.
That's right.
He's coming to save the world, one cluck at a time. I could just see a movie like, what the hell is this movie about? This chicken is no ordinary chicken. It's a spy chicken.
It's a spy chicken. That's right.
A spy chicken. and it's out to save the UK from all the disasters.
I think okay, this is gonna sound stupid, but I'm pretty sure that's actually a movie.
A spy chicken? I don't know
Yeah,
about
what's
that.
that? It's like claymation.
Oh, you're thinking about Chicken Run.
Yeah, but isn't there like a spy version of Chicken Run?
Uh,
What Wallace
they
is that Wallace and no,
Wallace
that's
and Gromit are not a spy thing. There's more as like a
no. I thought they had like various episodes or various
there.
movies or
There's
various
only one I
something.
know where you might be getting close, and that was Flushed Away, but that was with
Maybe.
mice.
I'm not. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you might need to look that. Chicken Little, that's right, Chicken Little, the spy. Unfortunately, Chicken Little was not a spy. He just kept crying the sky was falling. But yeah, Chicken Little. His name is Little, Chicken Little, and he's about to
Oh,
blow the lid on America.
yeah. Okay. Well, maybe I'm misremembering it. Yeah. Okay. So there is no spy chicken. Well, then there we go, Dara. We can do a spy chicken.
Spy Chicken. We'll
Mhm.
call him Mr. Clucker.
Yeah. Okay.
Mr.
So
Clucker.
there is no spy chicken.
Yes, there is no
All
Spy
right.
Chicken. But Chicken Run though is a pretty good movie. It is a very good kids movie. They actually have what was that? I think it's Elizabeth. Oh, I can't like Elizabeth Montgomery or something like that, who's a voice, and then of course Mel Brooks is in it as well. He's the rooster. But it's been so long since I've seen that movie. I don't know who else is in it, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, I mean that was the same group that did the Wallace and Gromit stuff.
Hmm.
Um, like there was that, and again, and there was a Flush Away one or Flushed Away. I think it was called. Oh, you know what? I better look it up. Might as well look it up. Flushed Away. There we go. Yep, I was right. It was Flushed Away. And
I don't know. I don't know.
there we go. Flushed Away is what it was called, and it was 2006. Holy crap! Oh, I didn't mean to do that. All right, but anyway, that's the one I'm talking about.
Oh,
It's
maybe
this
that's
way.
what I am thinking of,
Yeah.
but it's chicken.
Yeah. See, the film DreamWorks animation film co-produced with Aardman Features following Chicken Run, which
All
was
right, chat.
yeah.
That's my fault. That's my fault. I'm getting my claymation mixed up.
Oh, had Hugh Jackman in it. Oh, nice. Kate Winslet, Ian McKellen, Shane Ritchie. Don't know who he is. Bill Nighy. Wow. Andy Serkis, of course, and Gene Reno. Oh, wow. He's been in some movies. But yeah, this was 2006. That was like 19 years ago. Jeez Louise. That's when you know you're old, when you remember stuff. Remember stuff from that long ago. But yeah, nope. That was the only one I could think
Bro,
of.
I'm almost 41, so yeah, I'm pretty old.
And he's still kicking strong. He's ready to go.
No,
There's a
that's just an illusion. I'm like 3/4 dead already.
what
I'm gonna fake it until I make it. That's how that is.
is that where the saying "1 foot in the grave, 1 foot on a banana peel" sort of thing
That's
comes
fucking
from?
that. That's after my life. How old was that? I just ate.
What? Get something wrong or what? You just like get like a wrong piece about it, or is it like
I don't
check?
know. There's a weird bunny cookie in there. Very.
Oh.
I don't, I'm gonna have to discuss with my wife if that's arsenic that she's just trying to feed me.
I know you're poisoning me slowly, but guess what? I'm
No,
doing it right back.
no. You know what? You know what? I told my wife. I was like,
Uh,
listen, if the day ever came, and obviously in jest, right?
yeah.
Because she's not really trying to kill me.
Right.
But I looked at her in the face. I was like, listen, if you ever try and poison me, and let's say I saw you put like poison in my tea or something,
Uh,
I'd want you to know I'd look you dead on the eyes and still drink it.
I'm the owner of this moment now, witch.
She was mortified. I'm like, leaves you with the kids. Ha!
Oh, hey!
Yeah.
Wow, that's actually more sad than the whole. Jeez. Wow. Whew,
It's fun.
man.
It's funny because if you don't laugh at the dark times, then
Sure. Yeah. Black
yeah,
comedy. Yep. Yep. Oh,
that's.
I'm sorry. African American comedy. Sorry, I have to be careful.
I think that's the funniest thing you have ever said. Or
I've said a lot of
at
funny
least with
things.
me, at least with me around.
Yeah.
That's the funniest thing you've ever said. I'm deeply impressed.
Well, yeah, because I
African
talk a
American
lot.
comedy because we can't call it black.
Uh, what's the black like black gold or something like that Texas tea? You know what they call give different names to oil for, but it's like we'll call it the Texas tea comedy. You know, since you can't call it black comedy, call it Texas tea because
That's
it's
funny.
black oil, right? But yeah, you know what? Once in a while, a moon strikes from above, and I get something right. Uh, no, it's not a full moon. It's okay.
Yeah.
Jeez. But
Before
yeah,
you know it, chat Dara's gonna be throwing out the hard R, and he's gonna be like those gingers.
the gingers.
Yeah, because if you rearrange the word ginger,
Mm.
never mind, never mind, never mind.
Rigor? That's what I'm
Something
thinking.
similar, yes, that's similar
Ringer.
indeed.
Ringer. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Ringer was definitely the winner content there. But don't hate on the gingers. I mean, come on. Whoever said hate, the only thing you would hate on the gingers is the male side because those guys do not get
What are you
a
talking
whole
about? They're
lot.
crazy. They're crazy.
Yeah, yeah, but some people like crazy, unfortunately. That's why you have things like the Casey Anthony thing, or you have
Oh my god, people are simping for her so hard.
Blake Lively. You know, you have Blake Lively who's a bit crazy. You have a bunch of oh, what's another one that was well known for being crazy? Criminy, I can't remember.
What's your face? Amber Heard. That's crazy.
Yeah, that one is a big crazy, to be honest. That's like super crazy. I love crazy. Well, Gina, I can't help you there. I'm sorry. There's not enough life in me to say anything against that. I'll let you have that one. I'll let you have that one. But no, some people, man, they just love the crazy hot ladies, and Amber Heard proved that one right pretty well.
Oh yeah.
Pretty well.
Oh yeah.
So, but I wouldn't. I only watched the Johnny Depp things, but it was because I was watching some content creator going over it. But really, I'm not too into the watching court cases thing. Even if someone's trying to explain it, whatever, really not.
I mean, sometimes court cases are incredibly entertaining.
Mm,
Like the Daryl Brooks one was incredibly entertaining,
yeah,
right?
sort of. It's sort of like it came to a point that with Daryl Brooks, it came to the point where the judge was just like she was close to bending over and letting him take the stick to swat her behind. That's how close she was to being that person because it felt like she was playing two instead of because he would outburst and outburst and outburst and outburst, and he just every time she gave him an out, and it would not stop. It's like she couldn't even be control of her own courtroom.
Yeah, and that's valid.
Mm,
That is valid, but the other side of that was if she was too heavy-handed, and too like disciplined him too much, then she could theoretically open up an avenue for appeal, and she didn't want that.
right. Well,
So she was like, "Well, I guess I'll be as kid glove as possible, just so he stays in jail for pretty much ever." And so
mm,
that that was kind of that. But just yeah, some court cases, even like the Taylor to business, that was
mm,
where she's like, "What that girl killed her boyfriend, did all kinds of things with the dead body,
ugh,
and then all of that."
mm,
And then, like, beat up and attacked her lawyer in court multiple times. Like, I mean, that is
oh.
interesting stuff.
It's like going to a crack dealer's house and expecting there to be a birthday party. There's no birthday party, but there's some form of party there at least.
I've
But
never heard that expression, but makes me wanna go to a birthday party now.
not that one.
Who's
Not
got the
that one.
cake? I want cake.
Not that one. No, what was it? Oh my gosh. No, there was one though that was interesting. It was the one that, um, it was the one that Justin Roiland did for the with Rick and it wasn't officially, but they did this whole voiceover read thing of a court case in Georgia, and it was just this back and forth between the judge and all that. And it was just hilarious all around. But him doing the voice of Rick and Morty on that regard was just was just cream to the cake. It was hilarious. Um, let me let me find it. At least to give you guys an idea of what I'm talking about. Let's see, Rick and Morty, court. There we go. Aha. This was it. I'm not gonna play it, but oh nope, nope. Go back. There we go. So this was it. Nope, that one. There we go. So this was the video I'm talking about. The state of Georgia versus Denver Fenton Allen. And in the whole video it's not like 9 minutes and 30 seconds, but it's just him doing his Rick and Morty voice. And Rick is the one that's playing, the Denver Allen person, and Morty is the judge. And it's just it's just hilariously insane. I can't. But yeah, that's probably one. And the entertainment factor, but it was because of Justin Roiland that it was more entertaining. Because I wouldn't have heard of it if it wasn't for him. But
I had my stream bot, the character of Rick. So when you were talking to my stream bot, it would answer you back as in the style of Rick Sanchez, right? It's Rick
yeah,
Sanchez. Yeah,
wrenches. Yep.
yeah. So I had that, and people were like, "What the hell's happening here?" So
Yeah.
then I had to change it to Dwight Schrute of the Office. And that really upset people because all of a sudden, my stream bot became autistic, and they were like, "All right, this is kind of cool."
Bears, Battlestar Galactica, and Beats.
Do
What?
on that do you use Streambot?
No, I don't use any of the streaming elements.
Okay,
I don't. I don't. For what I do, I don't see a point in them, or at least for me to use
I
anyway.
don't know. There's all kinds of gambling that takes place on my chat because of it. But I
Uh,
was I was only asking because I didn't know if you had run into this problem where my
Mm,
stream bots will show up, but
mm,
then if it just stops. Like the next stream, it like
mm.
doesn't stay connected, but it is connected, and I don't know, it's like a bug or something, and I have to
Did
keep
did you talk
reconnecting it, and it pisses me off.
did you talk to the makers of
I
Streambot?
haven't talked to anybody about nothing. In fact, I've just
Well,
talked to you about it.
I don't use them. Streambots are fun. Yeah, I mean, for people, mostly it seems like gamers use them, but for me, I don't need them. But I what I do is this, and I don't really need something that's because I mean that's one of the things I've heard people ask upon many times is like channel points or whatever. I'm just like for me that doesn't make it for me the whole was it someone was like one was like crowd control was one program they mentioned, and of course channel points, and for me it doesn't make sense because uh, if you need something to keep people entertained while they're watching your show, then either what your show is not entertaining enough for them to stay, or for me it was like it's like giving a kid a Game Boy and then telling him to watch this movie. Right? You're in a movie theater, say you're watching Toy Story, but you're giving him a Game Boy to play it while watching the movie Toy Story. That's what that sort of thing feels like to me. Channel points and the crowd control. That was my
Do have you seen the YouTube Shorts where it's like the part of the video, but it's also a video game gameplay below and above?
Mm, I don't
Eh,
watch my
It,
shorts, so
it's okay. Well, I don't either. But the point is, like things are designed so specifically for those with ADHD like myself,
mm,
with no attention span,
mhm,
that you have to. So you could be the most entertaining, most ruggedly handsome, charming motherfucker like myself,
mhm,
and you still have those people who are like, listen, even though this guy is like dancing on his head in a hot dog costume, I need more. And so
right.
I think it's more of a uh, I think it's less about you're not entertaining enough and more
Mhm.
of an
Attention span deficit disorder?
more of an indictment on the societal attention spans of individuals. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like people are screwed up nowadays.
Right. Well, I mean, I've heard that sort of thing too. Is like when people say they want shorts on Rumble, but I don't want to, people attention. At the end of the day, it's going to happen one way or another because it's just part of that ordeal of the competition they're competing with. Like you can't, you, you. For me, you can't call yourself a competitor to YouTube if you can't compete close to the same level on YouTube. And they do three things: they do streams, they do edited video content, and they do shorts.
I think Rumble is a de facto competitor in the streaming world.
Yeah, but then you have Twitch, and all of Twitch has. Then you have the Twitch clone, Kick.
I
so you
tried
have
I tried to stream on Kick, and you know how successful that was? It wasn't successful. I didn't in Kick's defense, I did it for a couple months. But
right.
but it's stupid. It's stupid because it's kids. My content's not for kids.
But, some of the stuff on that place is not for kids either. But yeah, I understand.
Like it's a website for kids. My content's not for kids. It's too boring, right? It's
Mm,
I get it. I'm not I my my content's not for an 18-year-old to 22-year-old kid. They're not going to give a shit about pop. Well, maybe pop culture, but like the goings on in the world, they're not going to care. I get it. That's fine.
mm,
They care about the sluts in the fucking bikinis being like, oh my god, give me money and I'll write your name on my labia. Like they
mm,
care about that stuff, and that's what Kick is, and so I did that for a little bit. I had a bunch of trolls in the chat
yeah.
saying the craziest shit. It was actually kind of funny,
Right.
but I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm not feeling. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Whatever. So that's why it's Rumble. That's why
Yeah.
Rumble, I think, is the way. But they need more work on their like promotion of
Mhm.
like the standalone videos.
They need promotion on the platform as a whole. I that's why I have a bit of a disagreement with promoting one portion after the other. So like you had the whole political thing with Dan Bongino and all that stuff. And then now they're trying to do gaming. Well, that's all granted fine, but you're promoting a monolith. and the platform as a whole needs all the promotion it can get because there's more than just gaming and politics on this platform. There's DIY stuff. There's people who do artwork. There's people
Yeah.
who do a whole bunch of things.
There's
But
Lo-Fi Girl. Everyone loves Lo-Fi Girl.
yeah, well, that is true. Lo-Fi Girl and a bunch of other ones. Trolls. No, Abe, not you, not you. But don't go there. But the point of the matter is that they're still promoting monoliths, and I'm like, because I think at one point they were like they're gonna do music. I'm just like, get your algorithm up to the point where the only thing you really need to do is promote the multi variation of what your platform could do rather than just, oh, here's gaming, here's more of gaming, here's gaming. Great, I know there's some stuff for gaming, but your platform's not just politics, it's not just gaming, so you don't want to promote those singular things. You want to promote the platform as a whole. Pick people that are within different areas of your platform and promote that. Don't promote just politics and then just gaming, because that doesn't lead very much to anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm pretty sure I don't know how YouTube does it, but they'll promote their multi variety. Of course, they're big people, as it is, but promoting one thing over another thing over another thing instead of the platform as a whole, that's what's got me about those their previous commercials, was that either it was just politics type people in their commercials, or it was gaming sort of. And it's just like, there's more to Rumble than those two things. You need to show it off. Show off what you can do. It's like the new kid at the block who's trying to build a car for that soapbox derby, right? What, I don't think those happen anymore, but you get the idea. So the new kid knows what he's talking about, knows what he's doing, or at least has a general idea, and he wants to show off a bit. But you run into all of this stuff and different personalities and whatnot, and what that comes to. But at the end of the day, it just feels like promoting one thing over another thing over another thing is kind of limiting. Promote the platform and all the riches it has. Don't promote singular stuff. Monolith building is junk.
It's funny. You said New Kids on the Block, and all of a sudden I got a Donnie Wahlberg flashback. I'm like, oh my god, it's the 90s.
Hey, you know what I'm saying, right? No, this
But
titty's
yes.
a bit.
Oh, Rumble, though, I guess one of the things that Rumble is still massaging out is that it is a right-wing conspiracy theory platform for Nazis.
Mm.
And
Oh
that's
yeah,
it's just not true.
Mm.
I mean, yes, it is a little more right-wing because no matter what,
Mm.
any platform, no matter what,
Mm.
that allows free speech will
Mm.
inherently become right-wing, technically center right,
Mm.
but right-wing, and that's just the rules of nature.
Mm.
And so yeah, you have to moderate the shit out of something in
Mm.
order for it to be left wing.
Nice. Yeah, and again, again, it's just I'm not a marketing person. Believe me, I know that already. But
I
the
mean, you're not
point,
marketing. Look at that fucking hat you're wearing. You're gonna tell me that you're not doing marketing?
this was based on a whim I just had pop into my head. I think I'll be tired. I'll be tired the rest of my life. Well, don't. Well, you have kids, so that's kind of understandable. But yeah.
Oh my god,
Uh,
I need a hat. That's his third Railify. That's what I need.
well, you have one that says Blue Jays.
I know, but no one gives a shit about the Toronto Blue Jays.
Well, you do. You have the hat.
Well, that's it. This hat makes the baby blues of my eyes pop. I mean, do I like the Toronto Blue Jays? Yes, more than anyone else. But still, the point is, I need one that's his third Railify, so I can be on your level for marketing. But having a merch store is fucking hard. I don't have the bandwidth for it.
I don't have a merch store. I just went to a hat store in a mall, and I was like, well, it's sort of like, because you hear the stories of people who restream your stuff or whatever, and you have to add a watermark. It's like this is already my watermark.
Have
So
you ever tried to take something down on Rumble? Like,
I've never come across
oh
anything.
man. So I had this guy
Oh.
reach out to me, and he
Mm.
was like, "Hey man, do you mind if I use some of your content
Mhm.
And then I was like, no, I don't mind if you use some of it. I mean, follow the rules. Whatever you use, make it transformative and fair use and all that. And you know, you don't with following the rules, you don't have to shout me out. But if you're interested, maybe do it too. That's cool,
Mm.
right? That's a pretty fucking bog standard answer
Mm.
of anybody that has any common sense of how to do any of this.
Right.
And then so I look. I find his channel. He just rips the streams, like
Mm.
the whole thing. He just rips it. No, he doesn't. He doesn't like credit me. He doesn't fucking do it. Just rips it and uploads it as if he were me.
Mm.
And then I'm like, yo, this isn't fair use at all. You've just ripped it and uploaded it, and I'm not even like attribution, which would still be wrong. You can't just steal something and then give attribution for it. It's still
Mm.
not fair use. And then
Mm.
he's like, I don't have to do fair use because Rumble is a public platform. I'm like, oh, I get it now. You're retarded. You don't understand how any of this works. And
Mm.
I'm telling you now. Take it down. Use whatever bits you want to use. Transform it so it's fair use. That
Mm.
then you can use it. Otherwise, get it all down. That's that. And then
Mm.
he's like, listen, why don't you just send me the thumbnails, and then I'll help you grow. I'm like, what do you mean send you my thumbnails that go with the video? Why am I doing that? I was
Mm.
like, bro, some of these videos you are getting more views on it than I am,
Mm.
so I am already like really pissed off.
Mm.
So I was like I you know I was a little quite upset. So I was like, dude,
Right.
you have to take it down. And so I was like, shit, how am I going to do that? How am I going to do that on Rumble? So I do the process, and you have to like draft a fucking legal letter.
Mm.
You have to draft a legal letter, and
Mm.
then you have to like go through and find all the URLs and descriptions and all the stuff of each thing that's infringing, and then you got to put it in there, and then you have to send it off to Rumble, and then
Mm.
it was a bit of a pain in the ass. I mean,
Mm.
I appreciate that. It's kind of weird because one,
Mm.
it was a pain in the ass to do, and it
Right.
sucked. But as a creator who could have like the fraudulent takedown requests that you always get on YouTube,
Yep.
I did appreciate that fact. It was a bit of a
Pain.
a pain, right?
Mm.
It was almost like the Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus best of both worlds, right? It was
Yeah.
easy enough that you can do as an idiot like myself,
Mm.
but hard enough to do that you're just not going to willy-nilly fucking do it. And
Mm.
then so eventually, it was a few days later, it was all gone. I was like, great. That's
Mhm.
fantastic. I think Rumble took it down. And Rumble gives you like 8 strikes or something.
Mm. Well, I don't think they've used any of their strikes for the policy violation stuff, which is like 5, I think. At least what it shows in the back end.
Yeah, it's
Policy
a
violation.
it's a lot of strikes. So yeah, I appreciate Rumble. So it's not easy to take things down, but
Mhm.
it's still manageable.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people have not experienced that. That was crazy. The guy was like, "No, just send me your thumbnail." Well, I was like, fuck you, buddy.
But yeah, not said in the nice Canadian way. They no longer pushovers are the Canadians. Well,
All right.
maybe not so much.
All right, you want a little inside fucking baseball? A little Blue Jays baseball, do ya? All right, Canadians are not nice. We're not these nice little fucking friendly people up in igloos, okay? We're cunts. 100%. We're not nice. We're a bunch of pricks. And
Uh-huh.
I don't know how we got our new dude to boot it kind of, oh, we're all cuddly, eh? Yeah, I
Right.
don't know how we got that. We're all just a bunch of maybe it was excellent marketing, excellent PR that made the world believe we're all these nice people, and or maybe we were. Maybe that's how it was in the 70s and the 80s. Maybe we were nice back then, but we're all assholes now. Maybe it's the rampant immigration and the fighting for resources because we're all poor and hungry and cold. Maybe that's what it was. We've all turned jaded and angry, but we're not this kind, friendly bunch that we used to be. That's for sure.
Do you know? And he said he didn't really put me on blast for that. So see, he's still doing the Canadian accents. I gotta applaud him for that. That was pretty good. And he's drinking tea as well. Look at him.
I am Earl Grey, baby. Earl Grey.
He's really playing it nice. Trying to convince me he's not nice. I thought the French Canadian were worse though.
No, they're right bastards, 100%.
Yeah, I've heard stories from few of the Canadian people I've talked to, and they say the French Canadians, they will force you to speak the language.
Well, yeah, they're jerks. They're jerks.
They're exiled.
Well, and here's the thing. Here's the thing about French Canada, eh? They go, oh yeah, so you're in our region, so that means you'll speak French. Everything will be French, no English whatsoever. And you're like, oh, okay, sure, I guess we're in your area. But then in a completely English area, they go, no. Not only is French going to be on every piece of packaging that exists, you still have to teach it. And we go, wait a minute. You don't teach English and you don't have English packaging, but you demand everyone else cater to you across the fucking country, the second largest country in the world. So we're pretty far away from you in some spots. Why do we still have French? And they're like, because we're special.
True.
Quebec drives me nuts. The French Canadians drive me absolutely nuts, and all of Canada thinks that. The only people that like the French Canadians are, in fact, the French Canadians. Even the French in France don't like French Canadians.
I see. You know what? And the stories I kept hearing about that, I was like, wow, those must be some really dumb mother truckers right there. But before we get you all hyped up on your Canadian brethren, it is the top of the hour. And so what I do is, as I said, it's a time for us to self-promote, because I know some creators are like, they do it at the beginning or they do it at the end, or sometimes they sporadically throughout their thing. I do it at the top of the hour because it's sort of like a timing thing, like ding, there we go, and an hour, another hours passed. So, but I did put your links down below. But since I know you're so entertaining and enchanting and all those things, I'll let you sell yourself. I gotta use the restroom anyway, so take it away, Shawn.
Oh, all right then. Hello, you are my chat now. That's terrible for you. But anyways, listen, at Third Railify, that's where you're gonna want to go. At Third Railify on YouTube, on X, and on Rumble. I do most of my streaming on Rumble. I occasionally tickle the balls of YouTube, occasionally, just to let YouTube know that I'm still kind of dealing with their bullshit, but mostly on Rumble. So if you're on YouTube, I see a couple people there, do maybe make an account. Or, you know what? You can just say, fuck Rumble altogether. You shouldn't, but you could. And then just watch me on YouTube. Again, that's at Third Railify, because I'm reasonably okay. I was about to say because I'm awesome, but you know, who knows? I'm too polite and Canadian to definitively say that. Maybe awesome. So yeah, do that. In fact, I'm at least expecting like three more subscribers on YouTube. So yeah, I guess because okay, for an example, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just stay right there.
Oh, what did he say? What did he say? Oh, there we go. He's coming back. Hold on.
As I was saying earlier, there's a story about a teacher who got a bunch of kids to gangbang her, but the caveat is that they had to do it wearing scream masks. So imagine doing an entire stream like this.
I wouldn't.
It was hard work. I was like getting gassed. I was like this, trying to breathe through this mask, envisioning what it would be like as a 10-year-old boy humping the shit out of a teacher. I was getting gassed just doing this. the stamina of those kids must have been impressive. I know I couldn't do that. I'm a man.
I know when you you should I know where you said it. What I imagined I would have stopped at that point. Gee.
So, anyways, if you want nonsense like that,
Uh,
that's why you follow me. Darren, I was proven a point of why I should be followed on YouTube at Third Rail Fi, on X at Third Rail Fi, and on Rumble at Third Rail Fi. And
mm.
so this is it. Trust me, it's worth it.
I can't argue against that kind of sell.
But also,
Unfortunately,
I often wear a hot dog costume, and everyone loves the hot dog.
mm,
Everyone loves the hot dog.
when you perform for your art, you either do it well or not at all, and you do it well enough. Uh,
Well, like, okay, so, like, back in fucking 2007, 2008, I was in police school, right? And
oh,
I was very, very serious.
mm,
I didn't really laugh, just very serious with the big aviator sunglasses. I was always very serious and like, "Hey, no having fun." And it sucked. That's a shit way to live. And then eventually, I had kids,
uh,
and then what I did was I took the stick out of my ass, and eventually, started wearing bright colors. I know you can't see it right now, but
right.
I started being silly, and it was awesome. And
Uh,
then before you know it, I'm in a hot dog costume, and I have a Donald Trump hat that looks like this,
uh,
and all kinds of nonsense. And I have a banana costume that people find very appealing.
mm.
And it's just way better being silly than just being a stuck up fucking asshole. So yeah, that's what I do. It's so much better being funny than not being funny.
Well, and since you said stick up your butt, I was just kind of reminded that sooner or later you kind of have to get a line up your butt after a certain point. So there's that. So even if you take the stick out, sooner or later in life you'll get the rotor rooter up the behind. So you'll find out soon enough, kids. You'll find out soon enough. Uh, but anyway, for my end of things, whether you're on the Rumble side or the YouTube side, because I do stream to both areas, if you would mind leaving a like, sharing the content, leaving a comment or follow, anything that helps with the engagement factor is much appreciated. Because again, not only does it help in being seen more, like all content creators want to be. Obviously, that's why they do the thing to do. But it also helps in having other people on, like Shawn, or like Gina, or like Chris, or like Tomby, or like so many other people that I've had on. At the end of the day, I do this thing to talk to people, creator or not, across the table, because it's always an interesting time and a fun time to just talk to people there's when there's nothing that's required of them other than maybe just hearing their voice and being a little respectful, but that's neither here nor there. But anyway, any help with the engagement factor is much appreciated on either end. And of course, I have a link down below as well as the great Neuro has done. You can go to that link down below and you can see my Twitter X, you can see my email, you can see a link to Discord, but I mostly just use it for DMing because I can't run a server. There's only so much mental bandwidth I can handle because I have a full-time job too. Now that I've started to, oh, thank you, I appreciate that. But yes, any help with the engagement factor and link down below, much appreciated. But there is an extra thing I wanted to talk about because of the surprise it was to me. So over the weekend, so I don't know if anyone knows, but there is a company out there called Proton. Now, if you never used any of their products, you might not understand. But what Proton is their mainland is in Switzerland, and they are a company about privacy and security and all that stuff, right? Um,
Oh, like proton mail.
yeah, Proton Mail, Proton VPN, all that stuff. If you've heard of those products,
Not Proton, the company that works with Subarus to make rally cars really, really fast, which is what
mm,
I first thought.
no. Proton VPN, Proton Mail. It's all under their branch of like Proton Privacy. I don't know they just say Proton. But anyway, a while back on Twitter X or X, whatever you want to call it, I call it Twitter X for a certain reason. They were offering being part of a partner program. And it was in their post that they made a while back. So I, being the person that I am, was like, okay, probably won't get it, but I'll try for it anyway because might as well just laugh at myself during, because usually these people, partner programs, whatever, they want people with numbers, which like affiliate links and all that stuff. You know how that goes. But at the end of the day, I just went for it because of like some things like I don't know. Like I answered some of the questions they asked, like I don't know. They asked like how many people do I have watching all the time. It's like I don't know. I honestly don't. Usually don't pay to that all the time. Um, so I sent my thing in for it, and they usually say 48 to 72 hours you'll hear something back and all that sort of stuff. And so I just sent in thinking, you know what, probably won't get it, but I just might as well try something to whatever, because it isn't about the money. It's just about maybe or maybe not I would get it. So I got an email 24 hours later, and to my surprise, it said you're in. And I'm like,
Is this still going on?
yeah, I believe so. It's on their Twitter X, but anyway, it was just funny because it was like, okay, you said yes to me, and I don't have those numbers or anything like that, so I don't know why you're saying yes to me. So I was like, okay, so so I'm not a good seller of anything anyway. I probably sold no Rumble Premium, but regardless, I'm involved in this partner program, and I'm not in it for the money. It was just something to try because I
Is there money attached only if you sell product?
I think you have to promote their stuff, and you get paid a certain thing. But I basically skimmed it, so I can't really tell you. But so anyway, so they got me in the program and all stuff, and you have to do all that paperwork like taxes and whatnot. I'm like, I don't want to do this. But anyway, I got in, and so what happens is I've got they give you links to like different things, like the Proton VPN and all that stuff. And I said, you know what, I'm not gonna try to do all this stuff. I'll just focus on one, because there's one I know, and that's the Proton Mail. And so I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm here to promote a product that I use. It's sort of like the Billy Mays, right? If anyone remembers Billy Mays, he would do like the OxyClean and a whole bunch of other stuff. But his one thing was is that he would not promote a product if he didn't use it, right? I mean, that's I remember him distinctly saying that before he had passed away many, many moons ago, if anyone remembers Billy Mays. But the thing of it was like, okay, so I use this product, and I might as well, promote a sense of like the security and stuff, because again, their station in Switzerland has probably the most strictest privacy laws out there and all that stuff. But they have all these different links and stuff, so whatever. But at the end of the day, though, the Proton Mail one, right, that I use, and um, I have two different ones. Oh, thank you for that too. Yeah, don't forget the surveys as well. But the Proton Mail one that I'm trying to promote is that it they do it's a funny thing. They so what one of the things they do for Proton Mail is they will give you an actual like a fake sort of faux email if you're signing up for like a platform, whatever, like say you're going to like Facebook or something. They'll give you a full email you can use, like to hide your actual email address, and that will directly go back to your original email. So they'll give you like a faux email to use that works, and then your actual email can hide behind that, and they won't have your actual email. And I was like, when they came out with that, I was like, wait a second, that you could have so many email. I use a fake email for the survey. Well, thank you, Life Search. I appreciate that. It won't matter anyway for the survey. But then there's one part of it where like they actually help with identifying phishing, like phishing and scam things stuff. So in your email, like look, whoever uses Gmail, and we're forced to use Gmail because we have YouTube. All right. But if you have Gmail, you get a lot of spam emails. They want some priests or whatever. They're trying to sell you something or not. And this weird email wording in it, and it looks all fake. But Proton Mail actually helps with identifying those, and they will tell you if it's a phishing email, or it won't even get to you because of that sort of ordeal, because their most important part is trying to privacy and security and all that stuff. Again, I'm promoting it because I use it and I understand it to the degree, but my words fail me in trying to promote it. So, and then the other thing is that and it was weird to me too, because I had to look into this, but there's something about email trackers. I think the way I heard it described was there's a thing where companies send out emails to you like uh I don't know, like coupons and stuff. And within those emails, they have something like a email tracker to know if you've opened or not. So that way they do like follow up stuff, right? Like if you don't answer, they'll do a follow up for like, hey, you didn't answer email and all this stuff.
That's interesting.
I I
Like a
I
read receipt.
yeah, I dislike those things. But when I looked that up, and that's what Proton Mail does too, is they do that. They don't they get rid of they clean the email of that. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, they clean the email of those links that will tell the company if you've opened or not or whatever, and all this stuff. And yeah, like again,
So won't they just assume that you didn't open it and then they'll reach out to you anyways?
maybe I don't know, but it'll be worth less their time if you don't. I would think, but I don't know how those companies work. Again, at the end, I don't know how to sell this stuff well. I'm just promoting it because I use it and I enjoy it. But where was it? But this is the link for the email one. They do give a 30. Be careful with links from sites. Yeah, well, of course. I mean, Gmail and AOL and those old ones, they are not very good at it. But anyway, this is the link they gave me. You could check it out for yourself. They give us 30-day free trial. Don't like it, don't whatever, that's fine. But it's something to promote on the basis of security and all that stuff, because that's what people want. The internet will never be 100% security or secure. You'll never be 100% private, but they do a pretty good job of wanting to give people that kind of accommodation. So I've had it for a while. I really didn't know how I was going to do it, but I figured, you know what? Because you do so many ad reads on Rumble Studio, I might as well try it with the man who does the selling. So, but again, I'm not promoting it for the money part. I don't care. It's just a bonus thing for me to try. It's like the creative program. I'm in the creative program. It's not for the money. It's just something I wanted to try and see if I could do. And
I mean,
so
it's
far,
not. Fuck you. Well, fuck. What do you mean it's not for the money? That's 100% the reason why I do it.
that's your reason. It's not mine.
Of course, it's your reason because
Not
you
really.
don't want to work your job. You want to be a full-time creator, and so
No,
everyone can see your
no,
handsome
nope,
mug every single
nope,
day, and you want
nope,
every young
nope,
boy and girl to have a Daramouthe hat.
nope,
I listen.
nope,
I can
no
see it.
full
I can
time.
see it on your face right now.
No full time. Nope. No. I've said it many a times. I would not be a full time creator because it's just as followable as being a waiter or a pizza delivery or working for tips. Basically, a full time content creator is like working for tips. Yeah,
Yes, it
I
is 100%. I feel like a dancing little monkey with those cymbals, hoping I clam the cymbals together good enough to earn somebody go, that's a good little monkey with cymbals, and here's a dollar. That's me.
yeah.
But
No, I
listen,
get.
if you got famous, if you became, Viva Frey or someone of that size where it's very easily see, hit those cymbals, you Canadian monkey. That's my boy Darnell Quigley in the chat right
Yeah.
there.
Mhm.
My co-host of Pop Culture Beatdown Monday nights, my channel, 10 p.m. See, yeah, you have to do it. I never used to be like this, a shameless fucking promoter. And I
Mm.
know, listen, if you started making big money, you'd do it too.
Eh. I would still have a part time job because I'm not going to rely on full time content creator.
Well, I don't know,
It's just
maybe.
too full. He's telling, do the symbols, and he's telling you to plug it like a road.
Exactly. Also those watching
Mm.
on YouTube, Sham Records. Sham Records. You want some AI music? That's Darnell Quigley right there.
Dance
That's what you
puppet.
do. He makes AI music for you, and he often will do it for free because he's a boss.
Son of a gun. Oh my.
Yeah, yeah. That's yeah. Like so when I got that first Rumble creator payout,
Mhm.
I nearly fell out of my seat.
That was only guaranteed for that month, though. That's not guaranteed for this month.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm working as hard as I've ever done. I mean, I probably don't nearly have as many watch hours as what you do, but I mean, halfway. What are we? We're 17 days in the month of April.
Mhm.
Six over like 600 and some odd.
13 days left for April. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or,
I'm like, maybe I can get 1,000. Maybe I can get 1,000. And hopefully
you know.
that will mean something to Rumble. Hopefully.
Yeah, I understand that. But again, I just did it on a whim, see if I could do it and get in. Same with again the creator program, the Proton partner program, all done because I just wanted to see if I could do it. The money thing is extra because I have a full-time job. I don't have to rely on any of this for paying my bills and stuff. And I wouldn't either because I worked in the food industry. I was a pizza delivery guy. I know how the tip things works. It's basically the same thing. It
It
is
is.
not a fun time when you're doing pizza delivery and one day you're getting $7 extra and the rest and sometimes you get
It's feast and famine. It really is.
yeah.
Like, I'll go a couple days without getting anything, and then there'll be some
Yeah.
days where, I get a little bit, and then one day where it's like, "Whoa, that's actually a really big fucking super chat, oh my god,"
Mhm.
and then a few days with nothing. It is feast and famine, but, um, yeah, super grateful for everyone who donates and, watches and all that stuff,
O-
but
Okay. I yes, you would do great because you're a woman. If you look pretty, they'll give you more tips. That's how it works.
All right, chat. What you may not know, especially, that's Gina. That's
Mhm.
Gina,
Yep.
who has been on Dara's show and
Mhm.
will be again on your Rumble Squared, where you bitch about Rumble until Rumble fixes itself. She's
That's
super.
not.
Isn't that what Rumble Squared is? Where you bitch about
Yeah,
Rumble?
no, no. I use the data I collect from the surveys, and I add that part as finding the using the data to kind of show point where the chinks in the armor, and maybe it could, but they don't have to listen to me. But it's mostly just giving visual feedback to people who aren't getting anything back from Rumble.
So not only is exactly what I said, he used a racial slur, chinks. Anyways, I'm kidding as an expression. Anyways, but the point is 2 points. One, Gina is super pumped that she's on that because she's got a lot to say about Rumble Studio. So she's super pumped about that. But two,
Uh,
chat, what you don't know, Gina has a rack of lamb. Like, no wonder she gets tips. I'm just saying. She's a part of my crew, so I can say that. Anyways, that's why she gets the tips. Where I don't have that rack of lamb. I can't bat my pretty blue eyes and show my tits and then just get money dumped on me like the average. I'm not saying she's average, but the average woman can do. No, you go to Twitch, you go to Twitch or you go to Kick, and they're all
oh man.
and they're all like, "Oh my god, I'm totally gaming." It's like, no, you're not. You're mashing buttons. Some other guys behind the scenes playing. All you're doing is like you got your shirt up like this, and you're like, "I'm doing gaming. I'm gaming." You're like, "No, you're not gaming. You're just showing your tits. That's all it is." Like, it's way
Well,
easier. Like, men have to be smart or funny. Luckily for Dara, he's both, but I struggle with all of that.
well, luckily enough for Gina, she also has another skill, and that's sounding like a very
What's that
another.
skill?
What that skill is
What's that
sounding like
skill?
Meg. That skill is sounding like Meg from
Using her
Family Guy.
mouth is what you're saying.
Yeah, talking is
Talk
basically what taking. Yes,
it's talking.
basic
What were you thinking, chat, you dirty birds?
whole insert Shawn here. Oh goodness. No, but she has another talent, and that's sounding like it's not even a talent at all. It's like she was born with it. She was born to sound like Meg from Family Guy. Isn't
Yeah,
that
she sounds like
incredible?
Mila Kunis and it's weird.
Yeah, young Mila Kunis. We
Yeah.
discovered it's young Mila Kunis, not older Mila
Not the one
Kunis.
that's been fucked hard and put away wet, but the young one that was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Well, she has Ashton Kutcher as a husband, so I mean, I don't know how hard or whatever you want to go with that one, but
No, dude,
still.
she has sh no, that's her husband. Of course, she has a rough life.
Wha-
That would be
What?
rough. Imagine getting punked all the time.
No, yeah, okay, I can see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. You just got punked. Can you
Yeah.
just put the dirty diapers in the trash?
Yeah, exactly. Or, "Oh, no, honey, I got syphilis." "What? Oh, you got punked." Like, I mean, like,
Well, not just that, but acting like Michael Kessel as well, just acting like a pure idiot.
yeah,
But
exactly.
the funny thing is that Ashton Kutcher isn't a pure idiot. He actually has, I believe, a master's degree in
Oh, probably.
biochemical, I think it was.
I wouldn't be surprised by that.
Oh yeah, dude. He was what? He took over Charlie Sheen's job in 2.5 Men. I mean, that didn't last very long, but still, he did take it over. Um, but yeah, it's just
Tiger blood, man.
tight.
Tiger blood. Now that's a high like nothing else.
Whew, man, that was a time period. And the funny thing is that his father is the guy. What's his name? Martin Sheen.
Martin Sheen. And his
His
brother
father's
is Emilio Estevez.
yeah, and you're just like, well, hold on. You're saying they're related to him, and he's like this?
Tiger blood. Tiger blood will make you do anything to anyone.
Well, he was married to who? Denise Richards, wasn't it? He was
Denise
married
Richards went
to. Yep.
back when Denise Richards was something. Now
Yeah.
she's nothing. A
Well,
mess.
that's what happens when you are with someone who takes tighter blood.
Yeah, Denise Richards is now just another, she's a thought. That hoe, wait, that hoe over there. Yeah, she's just a thought on OnlyFans with her daughter. She does OnlyFans content with her daughter, and then they're like, "Yay! That's how we're making money now." It's like, wow, how the mighty have fallen.
Oh gosh, there's a lot of celebrities out there that do podcasts. I mean, at a certain point, you would think those people would understand that their fame is limited to their age.
Amanda
'Cause-
Bynes is on OnlyFans now too.
Oh, well, that's a scary thought. And
Oh, yeah.
that's just because of looking at the face. But anyway.
Hey yo.
Hey, when you gotta call strikes and spares, you call the strikes, but you leave the spares. You catch my drift. But yeah, that's not surprising though, because it's sort of like it's become that thing where you see a lot of women go to that because it feels like the easiest from them. It feels like the easiest thing just to go to get paid instead of going to 9 to 5 where you have to be told off by a boss or be looked at by some guy who's hired you as a secretary and all that stuff. All the silly things.
Yeah,
that
hard
come with
work
time.
is hard, and that's the thing. Do you know much about that Rosie the Riveter, the icon of feminism when she's got the blue shirt and she's like this? She's like, yeah. You know Rosie the Riveter? Well, one, she wasn't a riveter. Two, her name wasn't Rosie, it was something else. And she fucking quit her hard work job like a week after that photo was taken, so she'd go back to like ballet dancing or some shit. Like it's all women don't want hard work. I'm not. That's a generality. Some do. Gina grew up in construction. She's different. But the point is, most women will be like, wait a minute, I can do hard work for long hours for a really good, honest, respectable pay. Or I could show you my labia and get money thrown at me.
Now,
I'll do that second one. That's what they do.
Comfortable forever. Yeah, I could see that. Janelle. It's a smart move, but you gotta be up top and not a lot of. Usually, youth wins out over longevity. I'm sorry to tell you, ladies. I mean, that's for the OnlyFans stuff.
Although people like MILFs, and then when you get really
that's
wild,
true.
When you get really buck wild, you're like, give me that gilf.
Well, that's. I mean, Ben. I'm trying to think of the name.
Why is my camera is fucked off?
Oh, you just refresh it. You'll be fine. Just refresh it.
What is this Rumble Studio? Gina, listen. Gina.
Women, I am right.
Gina, when you go on Rumble Squared for the sole purpose of bitching about Rumble Studio, you fucking remember this moment.
Refresh the page.
You bring it up. No, I didn't have to. It just came back.
See, look, there you go. I have a friend that did feet stuff for a few months and made more than half a year than in 4 years. See? Human beings like to take the path of least resistance, and only for some.
Speaking of foot stuff, I know someone near and dear to me who does Feet Finder.
Gina. I know, I was there at that stream. I remember. Yeah. She budgets right and lives very comfortably. Ooh.
Right now she's dying. She's in Boston seeing this and she's dying. She's like, "Oh my God, Shawn, don't you tell them my username." She's saying that right now, I bet.
A gilf? No, you're still too young to be a gilf. You're in that.
She's 40 and her son is 20.
Yeah, I mean you're more milfy, really. I think that would be the proper term is milf. You'd be more milf than anything else, to be honest. Because if we're going by the speaking of feet stuff, we gotta find the. Oh no, Nope. No way. Yeah, I think that'd be more MILF than GILF. I'm
It's
sorry,
funny
dude.
that they say the testicle pictures. I don't have testicle pictures online. I don't have them. They don't actually exist. It was just a joke.
She's only the
However, there's probably shaft photos. That probably exists.
Oh man, it's gonna get more milk. See, you know what? That works. She agrees. All right, there you go. Gina agrees. She's a MILF. We're done. We're done for the day for that one. She's only the 4%. All good. What? The 4% of what? What is it?
Theo Snodgrass's female audience.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Which is
I don't
funny
know.
because, he's like, "Oh yeah, my audience is 4% women." And so then like I go into my YouTube analytics and look at it, and it's like you have 60% female audience. I'm like, "Holy shit."
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
nice.
Only I do a lot of crime, right? I cover a lot of crime news, and women like
Yeah.
crime because women
Oh,
are
yeah.
screwed up.
Yeah. Well, yes. I mean, who was it? Ted Bundy. I mean, come on. That's sort of
Handsome
makes sense.
lad. Like, I mean, you have to be handsome and charming to be like, "Excuse me, miss. I am a stranger, and I need you to come back to help me with my incredibly attractive beige Volkswagen Beetle." And they're like, "Oh my god, he's so dreamy. I'll get into the worst car possible with a total stranger." Like,
Yeah.
right? Like, he had some moves.
Yeah. Yep, he did. And that's
Yeah,
how he was able to kill so many women at that time.
yeah. He had moves.
Oh yeah. That's the funniest part is because even with Charles Manson had a lot of female followers,
Yeah, that
and
was weird.
that guy did not look pretty towards the end at any point in his life, to be
That's
honest.
right. Why have moves like Jagger when you can have moves like Ten Buddy?
Why have moves like a billionaire when you can just be the guy who silently muffles you in your sleep and says you just went away to Cancun's for the weekend?
That's a good word, muffled.
Well, shouldn't have said that word because that can lend itself to many other stuff too.
Okay,
Uh,
baby,
but
let me muffle you.
Dang it! Dang it!
Uh,
Ugh.
that's Star's new his new hat. It's gonna be green, and on it it's gonna say muffle.
Muffled. Mm-mm.
Yep.
Mm-mm. It was a funny thing because that reminds me of an episode from That 70s Show where they red becomes I'm gonna
Fucking love Darnell.
That's funny. The uh the episode was that I can't remember what led to it, but Red guy is a mechanic and he either bought the shop or whatever. He went to work for it, and it had all these different signs like muffler this and muffler that and all this stuff, and the the whole crew, Fez and them, decided to go to this automotive the store he has and decided to take off the lure part and just have the word.
Muffle. All right, muffle.
Oh no, it was muffle. It wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah, that's a good word. Much better than the word moist.
Well,
People hate that word. In fact, I was reading my weather today because it's gonna be a really hot day, but we're
mm,
gonna get some thunderstorms. I think maybe sometime tomorrow or something. But anyways, the weather was like, and the wind will blow moistly. And I'm
mm.
reading this to my wife, and she fucking died. She's like, the wind's gonna blow moistly. Like is that like a wet fart or something like that? What do you mean it's blowing moistly? I'm like, I don't know. It's terrible word choice.
I think when you start reaching into things like blowing gaily, that's really like what does that even mean?
Yeah.
She's not bothered by moist. She's not bothered by moist. Probably like words like uh mm, what's a good one?
Oh,
What's
I
the
don't know.
one of people scared of holes or something like that? Tripodism. I can't remember. There's arachnophobia.
I have
Maybe
that.
that one's. You have
I'm not
arachnophobia?
I'm not fond of spiders.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't
just
like
not
them.
even the small ones?
No, I don't like them.
Oh. Well, you don't have to be fond of them, but can you at least take one out?
Well, if yeah, because it's life or death.
Yeah, there you go. So you still can do something with
Listen, I don't
spiders.
like the Vietnamese either, but I could take one out if I had. I'm kidding. That's just a joke. Just that's just a Vietnam joke. No, but no, genuinely, I don't like spiders. You know what? Actually, the reason why I got in here a few minutes before the stream started was because I had to take out a mouse.
Yeah.
I got a mouse in my garage, and I had to. He was a fat fucking mouse too. Anyways, I put down traps, and I was putting some diapers in the garbage, and all of a sudden there was a big fucking mouse. Like, I mean, a rat would look at this mouse and go, "Holy shit, you're a fatty!" Like, I mean, it was yeah. So that
At
was
that point, we just call it a rat. To be
it was
honest,
just, it's like, yeah, you've been living in my garage for a little, like
a little too long.
a little too long there, bud. Getting into all my garbage and whatnot, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I've used. Funny thing is, when I had like mice run through at some point, I just bought like these glue traps. Boy, do
Oh,
they work!
those are the worst ones. Got the most cruel.
Sometimes, hey, you come into my house, you're gonna be looking at
It's
at
a
the bottom.
mouse. It's fucking retarded. It doesn't know that it's your house.
That's okay. They'll get to see the rest of it at the bottom of the trash bin, and they'll
Oh
get to look
man, the
at
glue
heaven
traps.
above.
The glue traps are the most cruel. I'd rather just crush your skull in with a giant fucking spring than do it in one blow.
Sometimes life's a little better when you can just let them know who's in charge. Um,
Who's your daddy? You Daramouthe.
you don't want a wet cupcake, you want a moist. Look, listen, look.
You know, speaking of wet cupcake, that's Gina? Wet cupcake?
Like, you have to know when you say something like that, you're putting yourself in that hole, and I mean literally.
Yeah, hole.
But
Sorry, chat. This has just turned into debauchery.
that's what we're all
Although
about.
you shouldn't expect anything better from me.
What? Gina brought it up though. I'm just relaying what she said. Just relaying what she said. She even agrees with you. She doesn't like
She's a
spiders.
terrible influence.
She doesn't like spiders. Yep, she doesn't. She hates spiders. She doesn't. So you know what? That's something you have in common, is that you both don't like spiders.
Yeah.
Today we have a northeasterly gaily wind bring with it some moist heat in the southern Cape region. We have a
I love Darnell.
You know,
That's right. YouTube Sham Records. Sham Records.
I don't know what this means. You two laughs and the covering your mouth. That, you know, when you put your foot forward in your mouth like that, you didn't want to stop. But anyway,
You know, she's a bad influence. Before I met Gino, I was just this guy that covered the news. Sometimes they were controversial stories, but I just covered the news. And now that she's come into my life, it's just all off the rails. It's all nonsense. It's all Gina's fault. I blame her.
That's where I just say, "Shut up, Meg."
Sometimes I do that. Shut up, Meg.
You can't. I can't. After all that, just trying to prove it, I'm like, I can't go back from that.
No, my wife was on stream with me two or 3 weeks ago or whatever, and then she was just kind of like closing her eyes, and she was just kind of like, in fact, you can watch the stream where she's doing it. She's like this, and she's just listening. And she's like, "Oh my god, she sounds like Meg Griffin." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
And then we're like, "Oh my god, maybe she does."
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was my wife that discovered it.
Yeah. That's when you know you've got something you can work with. Another moneymaker in the making right there. In the few weeks, the river and the cave will run red from cave. Oh man, Sterling up. Down. That's funny. Moist spiders are just crabs.
Crabs freak me out too.
What?
Yep.
What about? So, have you had crab leg before?
Yep.
Okay, so you're okay to eat them, but you're not okay if they're alive.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Okay.
So my brain is like constantly looking for a round thing with 8 legs, constantly, right?
Right.
I'm on like a watch, but then all of a sudden you go crab, or not even you go and it is a crab, and my brain goes round thing 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 panic, and then I'm like I'm panicking, and then I'm like wait a minute, that's a crab, and then and then I'm like okay, that's fine, it's a crab. But yeah, it's like it's not even higher like functioning brain that's right. There's no frontal cortex involved in this. This is just like the base of my brain like the lizard brain
Yeah.
that's doing all that calculations. So
Yeah.
until a crab is identified as a crab, it's terrifying.
Yeah. Oh, don't go to Christmas Island because they have like once in a while they have crabs crawling over the place. So
Yeah, I don't like
you'd be
that.
scared of that. Moist spiders are what female in their pants.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
All that. Oh, come on.
Darnell's on a roll tonight. My goodness.
Oh man. Oh, you tie him and Gina up together. That's not gonna end well. Goodness
Well,
sake.
we streamed we streamed yesterday, and it was like a Cards Against Humanity, kind of like a Cards Against Humanity clone,
Yeah.
and it was Darnell, Gina, myself, and my friend Danny, Daniel Clancy,
Mm.
another creator from Australia, and man, we had a hell of a time. It was I couldn't breathe. I was laughing so hard sometimes. So yeah, when we get together, holy smokes.
Mm.
Holy smokes, it's a hoot.
Yeah, if you tie stuff together, you'll have an Oscar-worthy flick. Well, I mean, I'm not sure. It's sort of when you say it like that, it almost feels like you're trying to say that it's sort of like that. What is that one movie that had Seth Rogen in it and the porn stars? It was something.
Seth Rogen and porn stars, Zack and Miri make a porno?
That's right. That's it. That's the movie. I was trying to figure it out because the funny enough is they did actually have someone who was in the porn industry in that movie, so there was that. But that was a long time ago. My face still hurts from that. See,
Yeah, the
having
laughing. We couldn't breathe at some times, we couldn't breathe. Also,
no
Orgasmo,
or
that's a film. Ever see Orgasmo? That's a funny movie.
no, but there was that was the movie that the best-selling movie all the time. I didn't know that. No, it was a funny thing because there was someone I had on and there we were talking about something and then I remembered about a movie. It was a French movie where okay, so this is the weirdest thing. I don't know why the French did it, but they did it anyway. There was a movie that the French made. I can't remember what it was called, but it was a movie where a woman, something happened to her, and she you know, I don't know how you explain the logistics for that, but at the end of the day, the movie was about slowly over time, this woman starts making love to her car, actually, and it gives rise to a car baby, basically.
What in the fuck?
I've got to find it. I've got to find that French. Nope, that's not how you spell it. French film. Oop. Car baby. No, that's not. French film, woman sleeps with car. Nope. Hold on, I'll find it. Woman. If I could spell well. There we go. Here we go. Oh, I don't think I'd be showing that. Not that one. I've got to find. Nope, not that one. It's
Darnell says the movie is Titan? Is that correct?
Titan. Yes, that's the movie.
Darnell knows his movies.
Yes, I'll show here. There's maybe a little suggestiveness, but this is the one. Titan is the one, and there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of blood. There's a scene where Alexia adopts a new male gender to Caesar. Blah blah blah. I'm not sure what the message of Titan might be, or why Ducourn was sewn together a Frankenstein monster for so many desperate ideas. He went to give it 4. Oh wow, that's awful. But yeah, it's basically about a woman who actually sleeps with her car, and it's as bad as you think. Yeah, I imagined so, but I heard about it, and I was like, I might as well. She falls in love with the car and bangs it. Yeah, basically.
Like what? She like straddles the stick shift and up and down on the. That's why women like manuals, don't you know?
Hold on. Let me get the Wikipedia because that was the one I had. There we go. 2021. There we go. There we go. This is a little more safer. All right. Wikipedia. Here we go. So this is the movie called Titan. There we go. A little more. There we go.
It sounds ridiculous. Is there a trailer?
Probably there is, but it's rated R, so I'm not gonna show it.
Oh my god! Listen, if this was on my channel, we'd probably be watching the trailer right now.
Mhm.
Red Band? I don't know. Maybe.
Is as bad as yes, there is a trailer. Yeah, there's a trailer, but it's more
Oh, it's a
this
PG trailer. Yeah.
PG trailer. Okay. But anyway, the thing is that Alexia, a woman who, after being injured in a car crash as a child, has a titanium plate fitted in her head. So titane or titanium. In adulthood, Alexia becomes a murderous car model with an erotic fascination with automobiles, leading to a bizarre sexual encounter that sets off an increasingly outlandish series of events. Basically, yeah. So she gets a titanium plate in her head, and it leads her to sleeping with a car, and then baby gets born of that. So with a fire engine. Wow.
But how?
Yeah, I don't.
Where's the sperm? Which, believe it or not, that's not the first time I've yelled that in my life.
Come on, man. Jeez.
What?
That's too funny. But yeah, that's basically what the movie is. I was like, when I heard of this, I was like, you can't be serious. Um, and I think, oh, here we go. Here's I'm just I won't play with too much noise. I'm just trying to see if there's no. Sorry, I'm trying to look at the trailer, see if there's
See if
something.
if there's no music.
Well, there's music to it, but I'm just trying to see if there's like any like.
Any boobs?
Yeah, I'm trying to stay away from that.
Oh
Because
yeah.
there are shirtless men, but I'm not seeing anything of like shirtless women. Um,
Don't you give me a reason to take off my top? I'll do it.
I don't think I'd have to do that. But yeah, Filth. It's a very weird movie. All right, well, I guess we'll show it a bit, but it's not really showing anything explicit. It's oil like it's a pregnant. Ugh. Well, there's one way of going about that, I guess. All right, here we go. Okay, I think we'll. I turned off
Oh
the
yeah.
music.
It's not going to be an aggressive one if it's
Yeah, it was on IMDb.
if it's on IMDb. No, it's not going to be aggressive at all.
No, I turned off the sound so it's not heard. But basically, it's just her getting an accident and all that stuff. It's a
What year
French.
is this?
It's 2021.
Oh.
Yeah, it's right there. Look, 2021 rated R, an hour and 50 minutes. That's
Oh, I thought this might have been like a movie from like the 80s or some shit, but no, it's fucking new-ish.
yeah, newish, like 4 years.
Oh, Darnell says if he remembers correctly, it's the oil that gets her pregnant.
Yeah, it's what it looked like.
What, it's like a
But
symbiote venom baby?
I have no idea.
The
But I
black
think,
goo climbing up there?
but then you see this guy here, and I don't even know what that's all about. Yeah, it's a French film. It's weird.
Weird. The
Weird.
French make weird films. Like something's wrong with the French.
Yeah. But it was like I heard about this movie. I can't remember what I heard about, but I heard about it. It's like you got to be kidding me. It can't. It can't be the synopsis of a movie. Because it's just so ridiculous. It's like it almost feels like the French would push to whatever and all that stuff. But I mean, 2021, that is like it's not even that old, like you said. But yeah, it just gets ridiculous. So, but anyway, that's pretty much at the end of it. But yeah, I just found that ridiculous, and I was like, it can't be that thing. And then I found out it was, and I was like, how did they get that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's something, eh?
I'm French. Wow, Shawn. Wow.
Yeah, well, she says her ancestry is French Canadian, and maybe that's true. But right now, she's currently all Boston, and
Mm.
so she's like Capac, and I'm like, oh my god, you talk again. I'm almost there.
Hey,
And she's like the Wattapack.
you let her on your show, man. She pretty much she almost feels like she rules the roost at a certain point.
Yeah. Well, I do. I
Bubble up.
love Gina, but I keep her as a pet. Is what I do. She's so small and cuddly. She's like a little pet.
Well, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Gina is considered a pet by Shawn, and
Yeah,
you may
baby.
know. I just imagine she tries to send you a Christmas gift, and it's just a piece of paper that says, "Thanks for treating me like your pet. I really appreciate it." Just in the most sarcastic way you could possibly do it. A pet. See, now, yep, she saw it. She saw
Of course, she saw it. She didn't-
it.
She's listening, and I'm supposed to stream with her later tonight, so that's probably gonna be funny.
Yep. Man, and just need to look at you with such a disgruntled look. It's gonna be funny. But anyway, uh, that's gonna be something brought up later. I know it's going to be. So, how do you see me now? A French poodle? A hamster?
Oh, she would be. Well, not. You know what? Maybe because listen, people from Boston are yappy, right?
Yeah.
Obviously. So I don't know, like I don't know,
But they do it like that.
a capybara, maybe. Who knows?
Whenever I hear Boston, I always think of that Samuel Adams commercial where it's like that cousin from Boston. I can't remember what they call him. Your cousin from Boston. Hey, I'm drinking a Samuel Adams over here. It's all delicious, all that good stuff. All American.
Hmm.
Oh, goodness sake. But anyway, it is getting. Oh, what? No, don't do that. It is getting to be top of the hour again at 2 hours, and I think we're going to start winding it down from there. But of course, we'll do our few things and then go from there. So, of course, we'll start with the self promotion stuff. So, get on that hot dog suit and dance the night away there, Shawn.
You don't have to tell me twice. Let me go get it.
Well, oh well.
I'm doing it.
There was that. And are you gonna take this? I'm from Boston. That's right, she's from Boston. You don't mess with her, or she'll slap you around like a chicken. She'll slap you around like a chicken so hard. It's see, there he is, right there.
All right, I did it.
That was quick. I gotta give a hand for that. That was pretty quick. All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, at Third Railify, that's what you're gonna want to do on YouTube, on Rumble, and on Twitter. Why is it called Twitter? Because I'll start calling them X when they stop acting like Twitter. But the point is, at Third Railify, that's what you're gonna want to do. Literally right now. Well, I mean, maybe in a second window or something,
Yeah.
but literally right now. So most of my live streams are on Rumble because sometimes we say things that are a little spicy, and I get YouTube is asshole, right? So I mean, if you want a man in a hot dog costume or a banana costume or a Yeti costume or a Scream costume, or I don't know, I have a box of tricks over there that I haven't even begun to get into. My wife's like, please don't go into the Halloween bin. I'm like, bitch, I'm going in the Halloween bin. And then so that's basically, I don't know, being retarded is my thing. You know how everyone has a talent? Retardation apparently is mine. So at Third Railify, definitely do that. It's gonna be a good time. Listen, I have a chat. It's a reasonably sized chat, and they are salt of the earth people. They're great. They're lovely. They want to be your friend. I want to be your friend. So if you're not following me, please do, and you'll not only be awesome, you'll make a lot of friends.
That's
So
true.
that's basically that.
And when the ad read comes, you better stay.
But yeah, yes, I do the ad reads because listen, I mean, you know what? Let's say there's 30, 40 people in chat, and then Rumble offers me $1 to push fucking coffee. You know what that $1 American is gonna do for little old Canadian me? That feeds my
$4.
family for a week, man.
Is it down that much for you?
Well, no, like in seriousness, it's like an American dollar is like it's like $1.30 or something. I mean,
Oh, okay.
it's a sizable fucking difference, but everything is super fucking expensive here. So yeah, I need to do the ad reads, and I mean, unless you want to give me money, then I'll skip the ad read. That's pretty
Yeah.
much the agreement I have with the champ. But again, follow me. I am just but a humble Canadian monkey with cymbals within a hot dog suit, hoping I can entertain you well enough that I will earn your eyeballs for a little while.
Yeah, see, there you go. He doesn't have to. He puts on a hot dog costume, and he's certainly Oscar Mayer Wiener approved,
Yeah,
right there.
baby.
Yeah, he just can't wear
Ask
this.
me about my wiener. It's all beef for you, man.
He's in a bun, so he's well protected.
I'm
But
in the bun. Let me tell you, hot dogs go in buns. That's the way God intended.
I'm not.
That's how I ended up with 4 kids so close in age.
I'm not gonna step in that hole again. But anyway, whether you're, for my end of things, right? And of course, his links are down below as well for all his stuff. And thank you, Neuro, for posting his links in chat. But again, his links are all down below. So if you want to see his, see, now I know why it's so quick, because he just slips it right on. That was good. Well, you better darn believe it.
Yeah,
You better darn believe it, young lady. That's right there.
My wife she bought me that one Halloween. Like
Aw.
two Halloweens ago.
Mm,
It was like a few days before Halloween. I had a costume already picked out, and
mm,
then she's like, "I bought you something," thinking I was gonna be like, "Oh my god, I'm not gonna wear that," and it was gonna be like this funny jokes on Shawn, right?
mm.
Anyways, so I'm like, I am so happy, and she's like, "Wait, what?" I'm like, "Not only am I gonna wear the shit out of this in Halloween, I'm gonna wear it on stream," and she's like, "No, you're not." I'm like, "You don't know the man that you married. You have no idea the animal that you're dealing with." And so not only do I wear it on stream, I wear
Mm,
it out to the bus stop to get my kids.
mm.
Like, I'm just crazy. And then she's like, "Well, here, I bought you this. You know, you're probably gonna wear it on stream." I'm like, "You're fucking right, I am." And that's where the banana came from, and all this other stuff. That's where this hat came from,
Mhm,
like my Trump hat. And
mhm.
yeah, so that's the kind of person you're dealing with.
I figured you'd say that's darn tootin' right there. But
Darn
anyway.
tootin', eh?
I know, I'm living on those, stereotypes. But anyway, from my end of things, whether you're on the Rumble side or whether you're on the YouTube side, if you wouldn't mind, leaving a like, sharing the content, leaving a comment or follow, anything that helps with the, engagement factor is much appreciated, because not only does it help in being seen more, like all content creators want to be, it also helps in having other people on, like Shawn, like Gina, like, Chris, and yeah, well, and other people too. Again, over 190 different people have been on. Whether they're creator or not, it doesn't matter. What matters is if you're willing to take up the part of taking up that opportunity just to come on and have a conversation about whatever. See, did that for 2 hours like butter. It's like butter. Gotta say it like that, like butter. Uh,
Butter. You get no R at the end of that, because that would be wrong if you're from Boston.
That's
Butter.
true. Butter, like the supreme butter. But, but anyway, yes, any help with the engagement factor in either Rumble and YouTube would be much appreciated. Of course, there's a
Downvotes included. Downvotes. Thumbs down also is engagement factor, so feel free to. I'm just kidding. Don't do those. Do thumbs up. Always thumbs up.
and that's when Shawn realized he wasn't coming back ever. No, I'm just kidding. Um, but yeah, and then there's of course the link down below. You can click on that. Like, hold on, I think yeah, there we go. Of course, so there's a link down below, and let me bring it up. There we go. There's a link down below. You can click on that. You'll find all my other places on. If you want to take up that, and if you want to take up the opportunity to come on yourself, well, guess what? There's a link down below or the comment section down below. Either way, I'll see it, and I'll get back to you, because again, I don't care if you're a creator or not. All I care about is if you're willing to come on to have a conversation. That's about it. I'm not picky. Well, I am a bit picky. There are people out there who would abuse that kindness. But beyond that point, I've talked to just about everyone. Butter. There she is. She's saying it. Butter. The butter. Pass me the butter. Where's the corn? I need some butter.
That's the butter.
The butter. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, and I got that from the sunglasses I got from someone that I had stopped by for my Pay It Forward stream. So that was a freebie right there. So thank you to uh, the person who I don't have the name with me right now, but thank you for that. And of
Since
course,
we're doing sunglasses, all right.
there you go. And again, guys, I am still doing my surveys again until the 23rd. They help the full data of that's going to be on the 26th, of course, which is next Saturday. But it's also giving people back a visual look at that data that's been collected, since you really don't get that from Rumble, because how do you know what the majority of people are saying or not? Yeah, like, here you go. So there's the links for that. Again, till the 23rd, every bit helps. I know I have gotten some feedback. I know that the questions are long. That will change the next time around, but again, every bit helps. The data is what's the most important, because again, hey, Toasty. Again, what's most important is that Rumble doesn't really give back visual data to its creators, its viewers, or whatever about the platform, about what people want or whatever. That's what I'm trying to do with these surveys, is trying to give you guys back something so that you can see and say, hey, a lot of people agree with me. Or you'll say, oh, so that thing I keep talking about may not be what's most important on other people's minds right now, and that sort of stuff. So that's why I do it. And of course, like I said earlier, I am part of the Proton Partner Program. For me, feels like a fluke, because I don't know how I deserve to be in there. But regardless, they have let me in there, and I'm not going to go spreading links all over, but I will give the one link to look at the Proton Mail, and you can decide if it's worth your time. 30-day free trial. They take care of things like email trackers and emails, so that the companies that send them won't, you know, whatever. The spam and phishing stuff. They'll What was the other one? Oh crap, I forgot. Because I did have to kind of write something up so I wouldn't forget things, but I'm a bad seller. And of course they do like catching the scammer stuff before it gets to you, because that's what they want to do. They want to do privacy and security. So at the end of the day, you could take a look. I I just promote this thing because I believe in what to do and I use it. The Billy Mays method, right? He wouldn't promote anything if he didn't use it. And I use Proton Mail.
Including cocaine.
Well, that's a different story altogether, but he may have mixed up cocaine with the OxyClean, so that might have been the issue right there. But yeah. But anyway, this is the link. Check it out. Don't check it out. It's up to you. But I believe in what they're trying to do for the privacy and security thing. And again, 30 days free, whatever you want with it. But again, I think I'm in on a fluke. I don't know why they let me in, but I'm going to use the opportunity. So there's that. But anyway, tomorrow, let me look at my calendar. That's right. So tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern is the 56th, I think it's 55th or 56th Pay It Forward stream. Of course, that's where I go tomorrow on Rumble. I go to the live stream section. I stop by a person and I give a encouraging word and some donos once in a while. I've done that with Chris. I think I've done that with Chris. I think I've done it with you guys and all that sort of stuff. So I
Wait, you
do
did
that.
a pay it forward with us?
Yeah, I think I stopped by once. You were.
Oh, I
I
didn't know.
think so.
I thought. Listen, I didn't know you were doing pay it forward. I thought you were stopping by because we were friends.
Well, I do that every Friday. I do though. I can't actually
What the
because
fuck do I know when you do them every Friday? I thought we were friends, Dara. I didn't think it. I didn't think. Oh,
well, it's to help support people on Rumble when it's live streams, because that's the day I chose to
I
be
had a
on.
sad music button. I'd press it right now.
Oh, you're not that sad. You wore your hot dog suit. You played your game.
Probably. Anyway, no, I think your pay it forward stream is actually really fucking cool.
Yeah.
And listen, if I had money to donate, I would absolutely follow your lead, because I think that's brilliant what you do. I think that's genuinely like
Mhm.
not. Listen, I'm not trying to butter your parsnips or anything, but I think that's just genuinely fucking awesome.
Butter my parsnips.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying. Like I'm like
I know it's just funny.
although I gotta say, there's one thing I've
Mhm.
noticed that some of the smaller creators don't know how to do, and
Mhm.
that's actually handle the chat. I don't care if you're playing Call of Duty. I don't give a fuck. If I'm in there giving you money, you need to have one eye on the Taliban, whoever you're shooting, but also one eye on the chat. Because if I'm giving you money, you have to be on that fucking chat game.
Yeah.
Like there was one guy who followed me, and then I saw that he went online, and so I gave him a follow or whatever, very small creator and all that, just starting out. So then I went in there, really nice words, and I was saying all this stuff, and completely ignored me. And I'm
Wow.
like, you're not on the chat game. You have to, like, sure, I get that you're playing or you're doing whatever, but the dealing with the chat is a part of it, a large part of it, especially if you're expecting to go anywhere and you want the people to stick around.
Yeah.
And so some people, I've noticed, the small creators, they suck at that.
Well, and again, that's why you see some of them use the streaming elements, because they get the AI to read out whatever. Look, use the tools that are there for you. Don't listen to me about content creation. I'm just giving you my perspective of why I don't use streaming elements. They serve no purpose for me at all. Well, you're coming on this weekend, so your show. Okay. I was about to say you're coming on again this weekend. I'm looking to get Rumble Creators my show too. Yeah, well, you just start asking around. I think the funniest thing about me doing this is that all I've ever done to get people on, and it's not just Rumble Creators, it's creators all over, like Twitch, Kick, all that sort of stuff, is I just ask.
Yeah.
I think that's this, but again, it's trying to describe what my show is or what it's about is also the hard part, because when people ask, okay, so what's the topic? What are we discussing? I was like, there's no topic.
No topic. Topic is you.
It's the conversation. The conversation is the topic.
Yeah.
But I ask people to keep turning me down. Well, and that's understandable, but that should, like, in turn you to want to keep asking, because if 99 say no to you and you get the one, that's a win. That's a win. That's how I see it. If you ask 99 people, that's a win. If you ask 99 people and one says yes to you, that's a win. So it's like panning for gold. It's like digging for the lost treasure. Sooner or later, you'll get one person, and that's where you start with, and it can lead to a whole chain of events. I'm not saying I know any better. I'm just telling you how I do it. And it feels to me like as simple as breathing. It just, sometimes you get a cough or asthma and you have to take care of it.
You're not. The fuck is this?
What?
This Cheerio is in the shape of a heart. This is the worst trail mix ever, but don't tell my wife I said that.
It's delicious, though.
No, it's really not.
Oh.
Not. You can't just throw anything into fucking trail mix and make it delicious. I'm just saying. Anyway, so the point is, Toasty, darling, you're not asking the right people, I guess. That's just how that goes. There's a lot of content creators. Some of them are assholes. Some of them have their heads up their asses, and some of them are too big. Like, so I've asked all kinds of people, and they've been like, absolutely yes, and then the day comes and they say no. Something's come up, and I'm like, great, we'll reschedule, and then they ghost me from there on out. Chrissy Mayer, I'm talking to you.
I hate that.
And then, or Camelot, I'll be like, Camelot, will you come on? He's like, yeah, buddy, I'll come on. I'm like, great. And then I'm like, what about this day? He's like, no. And I'm like, okay, what about this day? And then it's crickets and ghosted. Thanks, buddy, that we were friends. Or Nick Ricada, like, I mean, like, he, I started talking to him. Ghosted. I'm like, what is happening? I'm super polite. Maybe I need to be more of an asshole. I don't know. But the point is, you just got to keep going. No response is a response. And if they ghost you, then that's still a response. So you just got to keep trying, and find good people. Whatever. I don't know. This shit's hard. It's fucking hard.
Scheduling's a challenge. I mean, it's not easy. It's not even doing the Darachat and doing Rumble Squared. It's not the easiest thing, because people have other lives. They have other content creators and all that other stuff, and that scheduling for is a mess. But I'm not giving up on it, because there's power in having a conversation with someone, and I think that's like a lost form. Well, yeah, there you go. Binaural.
I know, but no, this was fucking last. This was a couple days ago. This happened.
but at the end of the day, I do this thing because I see something there that I didn't see other creators do, and I still don't see other creators do because it's mostly just nepotism. They invite other creators on, and that's that. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
care if you're a creator or not. The point of the matter is, are you willing to take up the opportunity to just have a conversation? You don't have to show your face. You microphone, sure, respectful, sure, but beyond that point, would you be willing to take up a chance to just have a conversation about whatever? And sometimes people are anxiety ridden about that. Some people aren't sure. And yeah, I've had people ghost me when I've asked them. I've asked people once and like, oh, something just came up. We're not gonna be able to do it, and you never hear from them again.
Oh man. Okay. So I know I know you're trying to wrap up. I
Mm,
respect it, but I gotta share the story.
sure.
So I had this buddy who was a pretty solid friend of mine for a really long time,
Mm,
and we sort of fell out of touch,
right.
and then he started kind of doing his social media thing a
Mm,
little bit, mostly on like TikTok or whatever, and then and then I was doing YouTube and Rumble, and we were kind of he was more like in like nonsensical kind of stuff, and I was like more like news and politics and that kind of stuff. And then so one day we somehow get like reconnect. It's like, oh buddy, how you doing? Oh yeah, you're doing this. That's great. That's amazing. I'm doing this, and then it was like it was like we never lost touch, right? And
mm,
then so I was like, "Hey, well, if you got a podcast thing or a TikTok whatever thing, a podcast thing, uh, come on my show, right? And we've never had a hard time talking. It'll be fine. Like, I mean, it'll be
mm,
great to catch up, and we could do all this stuff. It'll be great. It'll be so much fun." And then so he was like, yeah, he was like, yeah. So you do like politics and like news and stuff like that. Like I don't know anything about that. Like okay, well no, we won't talk about that. We'll just talk about like whatever, just like life. Like
mm,
you know we we won't get into that. And then so we set all these ground rules beforehand, right?
mm,
And then it was which was fine. And then so the show starts, and it was like he was like a different dude.
mm,
He had got like I guess his friends in the chat to like I don't know to like oddly like troll the chat to like attack me and stuff like that, which was
right.
weird. Whatever.
Right.
I like rolled with the punches, but then
Yeah.
like all of a sudden he's like, yeah. So like, what is this show? Like you're gonna talk about like politics and stuff like that, and what are you gonna do? Talk about like Donald Trump and blah
Mm,
blah 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 blah. And I'm like, actually no, we before the show, we set the ground rules that we weren't going to do that. So I'm not really sure why you're bringing it up. And all of a sudden, this guy like went from like my friend to like this hostile. It was like I had a hostile witness on him.
mm,
It was so fucking weird.
mm,
I have never experienced anything like that in my life, let
mm.
alone on stream in front of a reasonably sized audience.
Yeah.
It was really fucking weird. And
Mm,
then, so then I sort of managed to get through a little bit of that. Then
yeah.
I think I had to like cut it, and then I was like, "Yo, welp, I guess I'm not talking to that fucking guy ever again."
Uh-huh.
And I haven't. And I was just like, man, that was the most wild thing ever. Having somebody turn on you like that, fucking yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather be ghosted and not have to deal with that shit than fucking have it go sideways like on air. The craziest shit ever.
Yeah, and I mean, I've had people on. I've had very few. I've had a few people on who it was difficult just to get something out of them. But the point of the matter for me was like, okay, I can. The better the those people help me get better because then I can just keep rolling with it because at the end of the day, so what? Like, so I had someone on who wasn't speaking very much, just trying to get water out of stone. Guess what? The next person won't be as hard on that difficulty. It's all an opportunity at the end of the day. And yeah, it is harder to get people. It is hard to get people, whether creator or not, on. But at the end of the day, guess what? There's always someone more beyond that scope. I have had on over 190 different guests. Tell me how these other content creators, it takes them almost a year or so to have that many different on. And I can do it within a year's time or less.
I feel like you were describing me about getting water out of a stone. I feel
Water.
like that's a personal attack. I'm just
No,
saying.
you were easy. You're like the French maid who was not a French
See,
maid.
Gina, I am easy.
Well, okay, I take that back. Now you're just being a punk about it. Um, who would have
Uh,
thunk the good girl of me would stream with two former LEs? LEs?
law
What is that?
enforcement.
Oh, oh, nice. Rub it in. I'm not trying to rub it in. I'm trying to explain from my perspective of how I've dealt with it. I understand from your perspective, you've probably had it hard to invite people on, but at the end of the day, though, if you give up on it, and I know it gets tough after a while. We won't talk about that, Gina. We already know. But at the end of the day, though, if you give up on it, and yes, the more people that say no, sure, but it's just like anything else in life. The more something says no, the more things that just put you off. Then you'll just give up going to something else, and that's fine too. But at the end of the day, I'm like, there's something here with just having conversations with people about whatever, because you don't really see it much elsewhere. I see already enough politics. I already see enough about gaming. I already see enough about talking about the shiz of the movie and entertainment industry. I don't give a rat's behind, because it's all just dust in the wind at the end of the day. I can have conversations with over 190 people, and it could be about whatever. Yeah, sure, I've talked about Rumble a bunch of times. Yeah, sure, I've talked about the content creator sphere a bunch of times, and so on and so forth and so on. But guess what? I've also had people on multiple times too, and guess what that means? It matters most that people can come together to just have a conversation that's not ruled or dictated by the stupidity of tribalism, whatever. I have difference of things. I've had disagreements, but guess what? I've still invited those people back. Some people have blocked me, sure, and I can't do anything about that.
That's weird.
But yeah,
I would totally go on Toasty's channel if she would let me do it. If I could do it topless.
well, Toasty, you're being challenged, so you might want to answer that soon. I was a Lamau. See, she's laughing at it already. Look at that. You might have gotten her interested.
Well, I'm topless in a hot dog suit. Whatever, it doesn't fucking matter. I used to be so afraid to stream in front of people. Like I would almost hope that the number stayed 0.
Well, look,
Because if the number ever went to like anything, I'd be like, oh my god, there's people watching. I don't give a fuck anymore. I just don't care. I don't give a shit about. I'm almost jaded. Where did he go? Now it's just me. It's
now
my stream now. Look at me. I am the captain now.
I'm here. Don't even get about it. But yeah, look, Toasty says sure. So there you go. You got your answer. See, wasn't that hard, was it?
Mhm.
But anyway,
Yes, wrap this puppy up, Dora.
for the
Your guest is doing too much talking. Get control of him.
I do broad streams of Hate Go. Well, there you go. Look, you get to be part of that ordeal. But anyway, the last thing I do with my guests is I do a thing called questions from a hat. So what I did is I bought a hat from Rumble and I put some questions in it. So what that means is that, of course, those who are in the chat or whatever, if you want, I give my guests 2 freebie questions. Although there have been special exceptions where like the Rumble side had gone out or whatever. But at the end of the day, my guest gets 2 freebie questions from hat. However, if you want more than the 2 questions from the hat, you got to give a Rumble rent to it. I'm sorry, YouTube. I'm not monetizing YouTube. So it's just not going to work. But on Rumble, I'm monetized. Yeah, you just have to refresh. Yeah, you just have to refresh. There you go. You're almost there. He's back. But
Wait a minute. Unmute tab. All right.
Yep, you're good.
Fuck that. Listen, Gina, when you do your Rumble Square so you can bitch about fucking Rumble Studio, you talk about this.
I've already talked about it many times. Do not worry.
Fucking glitched out. I was like, ooh, something went wrong.
Yep.
Would you like to refresh the page? No, I don't want to have to. I just want Dara to ask his questions so we can get on with his excellent segment.
but anyway, if you want more than 2 questions, you have to give a Rumble rant. Doesn't matter the amount. All that matters is you have to give a Rumble rant to have more than 2. So we're going for the first one, obviously. And that will be...
Just ask the most erotic question you can.
Nope. Here's the first one. Here's the first one.
And like no one cares if lasagna is my favorite food. They want to know if I would. do dirty things.
You want to go? Let me ask the question. You're just gonna stay over there trying to guess what the question is.
You could do both of those.
No. What's a movie or book that changed the way you look at everyday things? That's the first question.
A movie or book?
Yes, movie or book.
Oh god, there's so many.
What's the first one that pops in your head?
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Ooh, really? Why's that?
Because it's ridiculous. It's so fucking hilarious. Right?
The movie
This
was
is
ridiculous.
this is the time. So Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy basically, really allows you to I don't know, imagine and be silly. And so I read that at a time when I had to stick up my ass when I was doing policing and stuff like that. Stick was up my ass. I was very serious. And so reading that, almost started the cracks in my fucking cement outer shell or whatever, right? So yeah, that's one that sort of changed. Also the book Blindness. You want to read the most fucked up book in the entire world? It's called Blindness by Jose Saramago. It's the most insane dystopian book I have ever read. Mark Ruffalo and Julian Moore were in the film Blindness. It has a rape scene in it that still haunts me to this day, and I read it fucking 15 years ago. Also, another book by Jose Saramago is called Death with Interruptions, I think it's called. Fucking brilliant. It's like death. It's almost a novel that has two parts to it. Like the first half, death goes on holiday or something like that. They're like, fine, if you don't think you need me, let's see what happens if I'm not around. And then everything really goes really, really bad. But then in the second half, death is sort of picking up the slack of what they left off, but then death falls in love with a man and then wants to quit being death so she can be with him. It's fucking crazy. But the whole thing, if we don't have death, it's fucking dystopian and it's crazy. But a movie, I don't know. I like The Matrix because I think we live in a simulation. So The Matrix stays with me. It's one of my favorite. But also Who Framed Roger Rabbit, because let's be honest, Jessica Rabbit, she's got a rack of lamb no cartoon should ever have.
You can't argue with that. I agree with you. You can't argue with that. And that was voiced by Catherine. What was her name? Oh, it was Shawn. Are you Irish? No, he's Canadian.
Am I Irish? No. No, I'm just I don't know, probably Welsh or something, which is I don't know, but Canadian, just a fucking regular white guy.
He's a white guy right there. Most fly is a white guy, as they would say.
Yeah.
Here's question number 2. Unless someone gives their own rap. Oh, this one's easy. Y'all goon. Well, you know what? Hey, blame the artists for that movie. Okay, they had Betty Boop in there too, so don't forget that.
Boop 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 boop. Oh yeah.
Here's because I heard an accent. Well, he's not bloody Irish, so get your hold of yourself and get on with your day.
Oh, because you heard an accent. Yes. Okay. All right. I have been accused.
Yeah, it's true.
And Gina. I mean, she's fucking one to talk, eh? She's fucking as Boston as shit. She can't fucking pronounce. She doesn't put T's in the middle of words. She doesn't put R's at the end of words. And then randomly on a word that doesn't have an R, she just throws an R in there for good fucking measure. She has the audacity to tell me that I have an accent. I'm like, no, I don't. I talk like a normal person. And she's like, no, you don't. I'm like, yes, I do. She's like, no. Anyways, sometimes they accuse me of saying bagel incorrectly, which is false. They I forget what else they say. They accuse me of saying a boot. I don't say a boot. No one says a boot. And they go, "No, you do." I'm like, "No, I don't." And just new do to boot it, okay? I do not do it. And then there was a few other words. They go, "Oh my god, you're so Canadian." I'm literally not. I mean, I am, but I'm not. I don't speak like it. I do say a lot, but that's the only thing that I do.
Bagged milk. That's right, eh? You got the bagged milk and the hockey sticks, and you try to cross them.
We put our bags of milk in these things.
Oh yeah, you just try to put it in there and you try to hold it in or something like that. Lit- Literally not. Well, you
All,
know if
all
the
right, all right. Fuck it. Okay, so I say literally,
hmm,
and I say literature, right?
yeah,
And then people go, no, that's not how you say literature. You're supposed to call it literature. I'm like, I do call it that. Anyways,
don't
it's stupid.
she called you out on that. She said, "Don't you know?" I said,
Don't
"Well,
you know?
that's not how you say it in a Boston accent. You don't say 'don't you know,' okay?" Goodness sake. Well, I think that's love an Irish accent. Well, now we're gonna have to try to do an Irish accent there. We're gonna try to dance and do a
I
jig.
can't do accents. I mean,
Ugh.
listen. I do speak two languages. I speak English and bad English. Unfortunately, I can't do an accent.
what
If I could do accents, I'd be way funnier than I am right now.
what's the bad English though? What?
Oh fuck, I don't know. Just just grammatically incorrect nonsense.
In hot can yeah, he speaks in hot Canadian, eh?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. You know, you get right down with those hoses there and they just ruin your day. You know, you're trying to do your best and they just kind of throw you off the record there.
that's right. That's right.
Damn, Irish accent. I mean, the only way I could do an Irish accent is okay, so we'll get the second one after this.
Listen,
The,
Toasty, Toasty. As much as I would love to make you tingly, and I'm sure that's a sight to behold.
yeah,
I can't do an Irish accent.
yeah, you can't do it.
Sometimes something might slip out, but it's not real.
Yeah,
It's
it's
okay.
never real. It's all
Yeah,
part of the Matrix, and you don't
yeah,
want to be a part of the Matrix. You want to be something
yeah.
else,
I wish
some,
I if I could, you know,
something
have any
fair.
ability. If I could have any ability, it would be to like fucking do accents and stuff like that. I just tragically, life wasn't that kind.
He sat in a corner and he tried to figure out what he was going to do with his life, and he said no accents, and they said, "All
No,
right."
it's not even that. It's just I don't know. I don't have the ability to hear a thing and then
Mm,
my brain doesn't know how to then like repeat the thing that I've heard. I can't do it. All I end up doing is sound like a stupid version of me.
yeah, I do more emulation than impersonation because I can't do accents. I already have one. That's true. You have a I don't know what you would call that accent. But anyway, question number 2 is, unless someone gives a more rant, would you rather? Well, it's probably a very paradoxical one, but would you rather be too hot or too cold? God
Let
dang
let
it!
let me tell you about my fucking house, okay? I live in an ice box. I live in the ice box inside of the great white ice box north,
Uh,
okay? And my wife, who is a fiery redhead, she's always like, "Oh my god, I'm too hot. Oh, I'm too hot." I'm like, "Well, then go outside with the fucking penguins then, okay?" Like I'm freezing to death, and she's like, "I know, but I'm more important. I'm so hot. We need to open up all the windows and let the fucking snow drifts come in, okay?" So
mm,
that's where I live, okay? It's always freezing in this house. In fact,
mm,
any day now, I can tell you now, she's already getting the goddamn air conditioner prepped. It's
yeah.
fucking happening. And it's we're only just above freezing and she's already ready to hit that button for it. So it is always cold in here. So everyone's like, "Oh, Shawn with his fucking blanket."
Uh,
Sean's always wrapped up in a blanket. It's a gay blanket, but I like the gay blanket. It's fine, but
uh,
I'm always like this because it's cold. I'm always freezing to death.
mm.
So would I like to be too hot or too cold? It doesn't matter because I'm always going to be cold. I may if I choose too cold, then nothing will change. It's just the way that my life is right now. So I
Mm.
don't know. Too hot? No, I don't want to be too hot because then my wife will just bitch incessantly forever.
You know what? You really should call your show something like the Man Who Lost His Mind
What are you
show.
talking about? Saturday Night Off the Rails.
Oh, well, Off the Rails works too, but losing your
The
mind.
man who lost his mind. Yeah,
The man,
maybe.
the Man Who Lost His Mind show. Welcome to Third Railify, the Man Who Lost His Mind show. That's right, I'm so crazy, even the turkeys can't handle me, and they gobble, gobble, gobble.
Fucking turkeys. Turkeys. Oh my god. Although I call my chat my little ducklings.
Oh,
Hello, my little ducklings is what I say, and then they call me Papa Duck.
you almost sound like Jerry Lee Lewis with that one. Hello, my little ducklings. Hey, he's coming through with the.
You know what my wife said on stream when I think it was the stream when she said Gina sound like Mila
Meg.
Kunis was
Yeah.
that I sometimes sound like Ray Romano.
Yeah, no,
I was
I
like
wouldn't
I
say
don't
that.
think so, but then I was like this
No.
Deborah, and then she was like, oh my god, you do. I was like
It's a little pitchy. I'm maybe like Randy Jackson say, it's a little pitchy. It's a little pitchy.
yeah.
But anyway, that is the end of the show. Of course, I'm not gonna do the premium thing. I've already fulfilled it, but I'm not gonna do the premium thing tonight because it is getting late for me.
I
So
haven't even begun to fill it.
yeah, well, that's what she said. But anyway,
No, actually, no, that's exactly what she does say. I'm like, but baby, it's in. She's like, it's not even begun to get in. I'm like, well, you're just so big. She's like, is it because I'm so big or you so small?
Oh, that just sucks to hear. But anyway, that is the end
Right?
of the show. But again, tomorrow is the was it? Oh, hold on. I thought it was the 56, but I gotta look it up. Oh God, I hate when I. Where was it at? Where? All right, there we go. Okay, it is. Yes, it is the 56 pay it forward stream tomorrow. So of course that will be at 7 p.m. Eastern, and of course I'll have my guest midnight. I want to get this name right. He does go by Midnight, but the total name is uh, Midnight ITMS is what his name is. So come and see me in Midnight at 8 p.m. Eastern. But the show Pay It Forward 56 starts at 7 p.m. Eastern, and then of course midnight at 8 p.m. Eastern. So I hope to see you all there. Probably not. Well, at least some of you guys. You guys are more here for the man in the hot dog costume, but still.
That's right. Which is once this stream ends, I'm going live with Gina and Darnell. So all of you in this chat better be in my fucking chat. I swear to God, I'll knock on every one of your doors if you don't.
He didn't even say that without an accent either. So there you know. But anyway, again, 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern with my guest, and of course, as always, I end the show with. Hold on, let me find it. I end the show with "One Day with You" by Pogo. Look, see, even Toasty says she'll be there. So there you go. Look at that.
That's just because she wants some of this Irish.
Totally much of the Irish right there. All right. Midnight in the Mountains. Thank you, Neuro. Midnight in the Mountains. But yes, One Day with You by Pogo. Have a great rest of your night, everyone. Thank you for all in the chat. And of course, thank you again, Shawn, for coming on. It's been a blast. And of course, you're always welcome to come back. Obviously. Just like you, Chris, or anyone else.
Oh,
you always come
that's
back.
something that one creator says to another. Oh, you're always welcome. That's great. Sure, I'm welcome, but I'm not going to say, hey, Dara, invite me on, buddy, or we're going to fight. It's always, you're going to have to do the work and invite me. It's just
I do that almost every day.
Well, you do because you're a class act, but others are like, oh, you're always welcome on, and then never invite again. I'm like, what am I supposed to just barge in or something like that? No, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah. Well, some people, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, that's why I do this thing, to have conversations regardless whether you're a creator or not. But anyway, One Day with You. Bye, Pogo. Have a great night, straight, everyone. And remember, 7 p.m. Eastern for 56 Pay It Forward stream. Until then, guys, bye.